Yeah.
Tasting.
Yeah, we're all good.
Tasting.
Tasting. 1, 2, 3. No more fucking turkey. Can't eat any more turkey.
Oh, I'd love a bit of turkey right now.
He's more turkey now than man.
Turkey, I think.
He's more roast potato now than man. Twisted and evil. Right, so you would go for turkey?
I would now, yeah.
What? Even after like
I had one. Was it? I had very little turkey over the Christmas period.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have like a bird because we went to 2 places for different Christmas dinners, family wise. But I'll explain this all on the cast. We'll do the big turkey debate.
The big
Turkey watch.
Gobble gobble gobble.
Hello and welcome to the Black Dog Podcast, episode number 385.
385.
385. Yes. Hello, everyone. We're back. Welcome to 2019. What's up with you now? I've literally just started, and you're now gulping at your phone like someone's just kicked you in the nuts.
I've just had a little reveal.
Is this one of your private messages? Should we stop recording before you show me a picture?
No.
Go on.
Ree's just revealed something to me about the film Bird Box that I didn't know.
What?
I've watched it, but it's not not about the film, but about the source material. And I've just gone because
it's a book.
Yeah, but it's the differences in the book, a major difference in the book. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Or maybe not, because that's a spoiler, but fuck me, that's rough.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of 2019, and as I was saying off air...
Of the Tangent Podcast.
Exactly.
The Black Tangent Podcast.
Black Tangent Podcast.
Or the Tangent Dog Podcast.
If this podcast is any indicator of how the rest of the year will go, we will be off the air by about the end of January.
We will.
So, anyway, hello everyone and welcome to the podcast. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week, as is tradition for the last 10 years, because we are now in officially our 10th actual year.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, this is it. Once we hit September, that's it. We've done 10 years on the nose. So wow. Yeah, I know.
People get less for murder.
Yeah, we've been destroying the airways for 10 years. I think
we certainly have.
We've got away with it. But yes. So as is tradition, we're going to be doing our roundup of the year: the good, the bad, and the meh, which I think is probably more meh than good or bad, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes. But before we do that, let's find out how everyone's festivities and stuff went. And we are going to start this year, this podcast, with the news from Darlington upon Sea. I'm going to call it upon Sea. And Jim, how's your festive shenanigans, sir?
Very nice, but not quite long enough.
Oh, right, okay. What, in time or in just the amount of stuff you can tell us?
Bit of both, but
okay, brilliant.
No, mainly in time. It was there was much working done over the Christmas period, but you know it was nice. But it's one of those just kind of do another week of it. Really, put another week between Christmas and New Year, please, and just keep everything shut. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
This week is kind of, oh, here we go. The news has started again. You open the email, there's suddenly 40 spam emails. Where it had gone down to 5 over the Christmas period.
Yes.
You go, oh, bloody hell. Oh, God, January, I hate it. But Christmas was nice. I ate far too much. I've not been on the scales yet to see what the damage was, but I'll deal with that in due course. But I got some nice gifts, including a rather nice new stunt pipe, vapor pipe, which I'm very pleased with.
It completes your ensemble. All you need now is a deer stalker.
Pretty much. And I'll be setting up as a consulting detective very soon.
Nice.
But I also got something I've been aware of for ages. It always turns up in Facebook groups. And I had no idea it was still in print, but it has been reprinted in a new edition with new bits. And it's Vincent Price's own cookery book.
Nice. Is it all to do with pickled onions?
No, that's Barry Norman you're thinking of.
No, but didn't Vincent Price voice?
He did.
Sarson's pickled onions.
Was it Sarson's or Piccalilli as well? I think.
Yeah. It was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a slow week for Vincent that week. He like, oh fuck me, I've got to keep the mortgage going, and he did speak like that. Actually, it wasn't like the voice you hear normally. He puts that on.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
So how is old Vincent's cooking? Is he up with the trends of today, or?
It's probably all full of bad things you're not supposed to eat these days, like everything.
Yeah. Hello, Vincent Price here. I'd like to tell you about my asbestos cake. Everyone's eating it in the 1970s.
But no, there's a wide variety of recipes. I've not tried any yet and really delved into it too much, as it's I'm currently let's eat a bit less kind of phase of the. But I will be exploring it in depth because he was something of a gourmet, Vincent Price.
Right.
He actually did a cookery show in Britain, was very short-lived. And because he was a huge Anglophile and he loved working over here. And he appeared often on American TV doing cookery because he was like a proper gourmet, as well as being an art collector. And he had this offer to do this cookery show in Britain, which he jumped at because he loved working over here. And it was terribly, terribly cheap.
Oh.
And the kitchen didn't work. And sadly, not a lot of it survives, but which is a shame because it looked absolutely hilarious as just Vincent, just as a trooper, just took the piss and just kept the show afloat.
I was going to say, so it's not buried under his grave like all the surviving tapes or something, like E.T. style.
Well, you never know. He was a cunning man. But yes, in the book, even has like old family recipes of the Price family. So I'll keep you posted on that.
I was going to say, are these going to be YouTube Patreon extras. Jim does Vincent's cooking.
Jim does Vincent.
That would have been cleaning my kitchen, so probably not.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could even call it.
Never know. The kitchen might get an upgrade this year.
Oh, right.
I've sorted out the bathroom. I've sorted out the backyard. The kitchen is the next thing that needs to be de-scutted.
Right. Well, if you do it, you will be missing a trick if you don't call it The Price's Bite.
Good title. I like it. Snappy.
Yeah. Snappy. Nice. There you go. We're into puns. The first pun of the season.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey. Winter has arrived. Oh, cool. Okay. Anything else, sir?
I'll leave that there, as I know we have a lot to deal with tonight. Get through.
Yeah, I think you were right the first time. Anyway, okay, fair enough. Okay, then. Well, Elton, over to you, sir.
Hello. So, yeah. Christmas was wicked, may I just say. We had a brilliant time of just faffing around in our Jim Jams all Christmas Day, not worrying about anything or anyone.
Yeah.
And, just had a really good time. It was nice. No arguments or anything like that. What did I get? What did you get,
Elton?
Well, I did end up getting Red Dead Redemption.
Same here.
Right.
And on playing it, the first thing I accidentally did...
Shot your horse.
I shot my horse dead.
Oh, dude.
Knew it.
I didn't mean it.
The fuck?
I didn't mean it. I was running up a hill on the horse, and because the first stage, you're in the mountains, and once you get down from the mountains, it's all free roam.
Yes.
And I got down from the mountains and I went for a little gallop on my horse.
Yes.
Turned a corner, clattered into someone else on their horse, and he went, I ain't having that, and started shooting at me, and I started shooting back. And the poor old nag got in the line of fire, and it was a blue-on-blue situation, and we lost the first nag.
Oh.
So, first thing I did, shoot me horse.
Second thing you did, set up a glue factory. Third thing you did, sold hamburgers.
Went to IKEA and sold all the meatballs.
That's right, yeah. First IKEA in the West. Yeehaw!
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just a nice time had by all.
Nice.
I think.
Okay.
I don't think there was no arguments or anything like that. It was pretty chilled.
Wow. Okay.
Nothing else really to report.
That's fine. That's fine. Like I say, it's it's that time of year. You either stuff happens or it doesn't. It's not one of those kind of daily routine things, and it's been a bit of a weird old sort of month anyway.
Yeah, I could get into all the details of everything that everyone got and stuff like that, but that'd be like well boring for everyone else.
Boring and like totally.
Yeah, so I don't want to get into that sort of stuff. So, do you know what? I won't. I'll just let you guys ramble on, and then we'll get into the films.
Us ramble on, Darren. I think he's casting He's casting aspersions upon our side of the news, the weekly update.
So I've only got about 13 TV shows and computer games to tell you about that I did play over the Christmas period.
Oh God, no!
That's a fucking pamphlet. That is.
Are these the TV and movies that everyone else, the other 7 billion people that have Netflix, have watched?
These are ones that were not made in 2018. Just brief mentions on these things. So,
go on in. Well, firstly, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was good, but there was illness involved.
Yes.
Poor E, she started suffering from a chest infection just before it affected. She hardly wanted anything to eat in this Christmas dinners.
Yes.
She managed to start getting better and started sort of putting some food away. But
So was Christmas dinner basically a case of, oh, I'm so sorry. You going to finish that?
Yeah, exactly.
For the second plate.
That turkey's looking mighty good on your plate. No, she did eventually start. The stomach started kicking back in again, and she's back to normal now. But oh my God, it just laid her low. She was in bed for most of the Christmas period,
and ill as well.
Sorry,
and ill
as well. Yeah. Which meant I get to play loads of time on the Xbox, on the main television in the living room.
He was.
Are you all right, love?
Big TV.
Yeah, but the problem is, mate, right? I mean, I hate to say it, but she does listen.
Yeah, I know she does. She knows all about it.
What? That you're celebrating
so you
her
think
being
I should go and play shit, do you? Is that right?
Are you
I did bring
ill?
it wouldn't be be a bit of a waste of time, really, wouldn't it? Maybe I can't play it. Should I go and play it?
And you are upstairs.
You are upstairs. No, it's in the next room. That's fine. I can shout. Are you all right, love? Exactly. What? I can't. No. Can you speak up? I can't hear you over the gunfire from the game.
I'll be right with you. I've just got to rope my horse.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've just got this. I've just got to find a save point.
Oh, how what a catch you are, Dal.
Aren't I just?
You are.
No, I didn't have that much time with the Xbox, but I did get.
I can check, you know.
I know you can. But yes, good time was had by all. Apart from the illness bit as well, I think I came down with something very similar to it as well for a very short period. But yeah, we all back to health now, so that's fine.
Cool.
So got some great presents. Of course, I got again Red Dead Redemption 2, like Elton. The only game that's got a 2-hour tutorial at the beginning of it. Right,
Final Fantasy 16, my friend.
Really? Okay. I'm not trying to put anybody off buying Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
It's beautifully done. The scripting in it is fantastic. Animation's great.
Yeah.
The whole look of it is wonderful. It really is. And there's so much. In fact, it raises a question of how much is too much in a game. And I just wonder if there's there's too much to do in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like those other, was it that ridiculous set of games, the Just Cause games, right? I mean, the first map was the size of England in that game. The next map was like
Europe, 3
times the size. Yeah, then it was Europe, and then it's like, I think they've got 5 planets in number 4 that you jump. You know, they want to be just like South America, every single one of those. So yeah, it gets a thumbs up from me, but I've had to put it to one side because I just need time to play that. I've got other things I need to finish, so I've just put it to one side. I will start it again at some point, but
look at you, man, the leisure.
Yeah, just leave that over there.
Right,
leave it over there. Now, there were some bits and bobs.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's literally firing up his.
I'm firing up my phone because Ree's sending me messages going, "Tell him about this. Tell him about this. Tell him this. This was shit. Don't forget to mention that. We suffered through this."
My God.
The first thing I watched very quickly was a film called Bait. Has anybody heard of it?
Not until you put something on Facebook about it.
Fuck me. I'm not joking. I just don't know. I've got nothing. I've got nothing with this film. The basic story is there's a tsunami on this island, and which is very sort of
specific tsunami.
Tsunami. That's it. It's done. Right. It's like oh, that was 2 seconds, and everything's kind of covered in water now. Right. You know, there's none of this like majestic rolling through the streets of all the thing. It's just like somebody's taken Photoshop and just put some fluffy clouds, which they've made try and look like a tsunami coming in. So they've done that. I honestly thought it was from the same team that had done Birdemic.
That's painful.
It is pretty bad. It's like they've suddenly learned how to do 3D graphics. Right? So it's 3D clip art you've got in this film now. It's like Jurassic Park never happened, my friend. It really is. This is like 20 years after Jurassic Park.
But I told you on Facebook at the time, anything that isn't Jaws, the original, and has a shark in it, even on the box art, should be avoided at all costs.
Fuck me, it was terrible. The acting was just diabolical in it. I can't remember. There was one well-known actor in it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, you know, he was phoning it in, and he was still sort of acting rings around everyone else.
Lorenzo Lamas or something.
It's something like, it's like, you know, the fucking shark, the fucking stupid CG sharks in it were fucking acting the rings around the rest of the cast. So, Bait, it's on, I think it's on either Netflix or Amazon. It's on a special list. I've watched it so you don't have to. All right? So
you say that.
Yeah, just avoid it like the plague.
Are we going to have a shit shark month?
Well, I think we should.
Shit shark.
Shark shit. That's what we should call it.
Shit shark.
Not Shark Week. Shark shit.
Yeah, shark shit September or something like that.
Yes.
The silence from Jim and Elton kind of speaks volumes to that one. I think that's a no, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we're going to be doing that.
I think Jim's so disgusted he's jumped off.
Has he? He's just abandoned ship. Has he actually left? Yeah, yes.
He's gone.
Oh my God.
He's gone off to watch Bait.
He's actually left.
He's gone to watch Bait. That's what it is. I've enticed him over to the dark side. He's gone, I like the sound, and I'll give that a fucking go right now.
Yes, no, hold on.
Screw the black dog.
Yeah, that's it. Fuck that. I want some hold on. Yeah, his Wi-Fi's just dropped off.
Is it?
I think his Wi-Fi just committed suicide, to be quite perfectly honest.
Yeah, it heard Bait, and then it was like, fuck that shit. You're not watching that at all.
He said his Wi-Fi's dropped off, so I'm saying no worries, he's missing nothing.
Right.
It's all right, I'm back now.
Oh, right, okay, there you go.
There he is.
There you go. Well done, Jim. You know what? As I was about to type to you, you've missed nothing.
Yeah, you haven't.
Apologies, I don't know what happened there. So just the Wi-Fi went off. I think like maybe in a power fluctuation because Chrome closed itself and the whole machine went.
Oh, right.
A restart.
Because I mentioned Bait.
Thanks for that.
Because I mentioned Bait.
Yeah, the computer did a sort of suicidal jump.
That's it.
Stop convincing Jim to do suicide. Well, maybe it's because I mentioned shit shark September.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's why he said, no, fuck that shit. Don't let him hear that.
No.
Off.
Yeah, in case he says yes.
Yes, off. So anyway, yes, getting back into the swing of things. a TV series, or should I say a Netflix show that I watched. I'm on the last 2 episodes now.
Is this another 2018 one, or
this is 2018's TV show. It's only just come out onto Netflix in the last 2-3 weeks. It's a show called You, which is about a guy who's got a bit of an obsession with this girl. It's 10 episodes,
right?
And most of it is taken from his point of view. So it's kind of, you hear his thought processes as he's doing stuff, and he's talking to the audience.
Yeah.
Right? So he's explaining his method of how he manages to do this and how he manages to hack her phone, so he's got all her emails coming through and stuff like that.
At all.
No, it's not.
No, it's not?
No, I mean, I'm being sarcastic when I say that.
Fine.
I really can't explain the show. You're gonna have to watch it. There's so much more to it than that. There really is, and you see that he's not the only damaged individual in this fucking show.
Okay,
right?
Is it comedy? Is it light-hearted? Is it drama, or is it just dark?
It's drama. There are funny bits in it, but it's dark. It's a lot of the humour is quite dark because of the way he thinks about stuff, right? And it's like, should I be laughing at what he's just said there?
Right.
But
yeah.
The show itself, I would say, its main thing is about obsession, and it's not. There's so much more to it.
Is that the theme tune? Elvis singing "Obsession"?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No. And it does rip the piss out of. It's darkly satirical about hipster culture as well, because there's a lot of that.
Liked it, then.
Yeah, it is. There's one or two characters in that you just sit there and think, you cunt.
Right.
It's just, honestly, just because of what comes out of their mouth, it's just like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
seriously, mate. But it's done. That's it. These are extreme. Some of these are extreme characters, but it is disturbing in quite a few ways.
Right.
And you do, I don't know, maybe some of the stuff you laugh at might make you question yourself. So
right, okay.
But it does show different sides of
the
thing. So watch that.
We'll check it out.
I'm on the last 2 episodes, and it's ramping up quite nicely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Let's see, what else was there? No, we've seen that one. Let's talked about that.
Yeah.
Bait, we've mentioned.
Oh, God, no. Let's not mention it again.
No,
if you say it 3 times into a mirror, apparently it appears as a DVD on your desk.
Does it?
No, don't.
So I would say that's about it from me. I'm going to stop right there because I could just probably ramble on about
it's cool. You know, it's just I'm a little aware of the fact that we've done 20 minutes, and I just know that when we get into this year, I get a sneaky suspicion it's just going to go way. Welcome to the 4-Hour Podcast. We're coming in at part 2.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. In which case, cool. Was there any one last thing you want to say before? Or
not that I could think of off the top of my head. I know we've got a lot to pack in.
Okay, dude. No worries.
So just cool. Go for it, dude.
Cool. Okay, cool. My Christmas period was pretty cool. Got some nice presents. I got that. I got some art from. I got an art book from Carol, which was a sketchy book, like a personalised Moleskine book to draw in.
Very nice.
Very nice. And I also got Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
All the pictures that David draws, all the anatomical stuff that he leaves all around the room in that crazy little den place that he's got.
Yeah.
I've got charcoal pictures.
Yeah, all the charcoal pictures. I've literally got a book that is just those.
Really?
It's superb. If the rest of the film was anywhere near as good as that, I would have been well happy. But it literally, it's the designer took the whole story of David basically landing on this planet, wiping out all the engineers.
Yeah.
And then you can see all of his experiments, and you literally can follow it through from the very start to the very end. And the things that he sort of like genetic adaptations of this and that and the other, and they're all meticulously drawn out. The artwork is beautiful. The work is amazing, and it comes with a sort of a side book, a complimentary side book, which tells you how they actually went about it. But it's very good. So that was a big thumbs up on my old list.
Mm-hmm.
I got a woolly hat, which is sitting right there, which is only for running because it makes me look like a twat.
Does it? It doesn't make you look like Rocky then?
No. It makes me look like...
You think you look like Rocky?
I'd like to think I look like Rocky, but actually no. The other thing was I got loads of things like jumpers and jackets.
Yeah.
But the thing that was good about them, they were same as ones I had before, but instead of in the label having XXL, they just had L.
Very nice.
Yeah, boy.
I thought you were going to tell me something really cool. Like they're like the other stuff, but this time they're bulletproof.
Yes, exactly. They're made of pure Kevlar.
Yeah, Kevlar jumper. Thank you.
Yes, I got loads of DVDs. I got The Expanse. I got Rebels Season 4. I got Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Same here.
Yep. And video games. I got some Steam voucher stuff. So I've been playing Off-World Trading Company, which is essentially playing the stock market on Mars.
Excellent. Oh, so you did actually manage to buy some games from Steam then?
Yes.
It didn't actually just recommend you some shit that some bloke in a shed in Peckham had made.
You have no idea.
It's Indian. You must buy it because look how cool it is.
Yes, this has got 3 pixels and it's called Blarg.
Yes.
And it has like 400,000 very sarcastic thumbs up reviews.
And if you push this button here, a grapefruit appears in the bottom right corner.
But the game I got that I think you'll like is one called Frostpunk.
Oh yeah, I've seen some screenshots of that.
It is possibly the most depressing game you could ever possibly play.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the reason why. It's set in Victorian era, but what's happened is an ice age has come.
Okay.
The Industrial Revolution happened too quickly and basically clouded the air, and permafrost just ripped across the landscape.
Got you.
Everyone's moved to the equator.
Yep.
Except for good old Blighty, who have decided, in their infinite wisdom, that may be somewhat prescient to our situation right now, that we don't need nobody else.
Ah, that sounds very familiar.
So what we've done is is build a big wall around London, called it New London, and then let 60 feet of ice literally build up around the edges.
Oh.
And now we're sitting in a big hole in the middle of the ice in 60 feet of permafrost. And the idea is that it's like a real-time strategy game. And what you have to do is you have to keep everyone alive and happy in your city.
Right.
But the only way you can do that is with heat and control. So basically, you've got to build stuff. But if you build stuff, that needs people to be happy and motivated, and it also needs them to have fuel. Well, the only way you're going to get fuel is if you send them out into the icy wastelands to find, petrified forest wood, because they've got no fuel. And so then what happens is you start getting people coming in from other settlements, and the town of Basingstoke has basically frozen over, and there's like 20 survivors from Basingstoke and stuff like this.
That's nothing new. It sounds just like it is today.
Exactly. But then you have this whole balancing system of, if I bring more people in, there's less food for everyone. That drops the hope. If you drop the hope, they won't be able to get any more resources unless you enforce martial law.
Oh,
if you enforce martial law, you get things done, but people get less happy. But if you force people away and say, no, we can't take any more people in, you keep everyone...
Again, sounding very familiar.
Yeah, you keep everyone happy because they're happy because they're fed. But then what happens is the morale drops. And so you've got this whole mad balancing act of, like, you have to be a dick one way or the other. You either end up as a megalomaniac holding everyone hostage and like enforcing martial law, and everyone's miserable, but the city's alive, or you end up bringing too many people in and then getting overcrowded, and the city collapses under its own weight, and you need fuel to keep them alive, and you need more resources. And I have never felt like I was such a shit in all my life. I played it for like 3 hours, and I was just like, my palms were sweaty. I'm like, don't ask me another thing. And it's like, a scout troop from Devon have arrived, and it's like, but I've got no more food, no more places to put them, and literally nothing left. And there's like artistically rendered pictures of these kids coming out of the snow carrying their Scoutmaster. They've gone 500 miles across land, and then it's like, if I bring them in now, I'm literally going to incite revolution because people in the city have nothing left. And if I let them go, I'm going to feel like an absolute cockhead for sending away a bunch of 12-year-olds into the snow to die.
You're not thinking of this right, mate.
Go on.
Okay, Cub Scouts, yeah?
Yeah.
Bob a job.
Bob a job.
There you go. Tell you what, I'll tell
Funny
you
enough, that wasn't an option.
Please, sir, let us in. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you, you can come in.
Yeah.
What I need you to do, though,
Yeah.
I need you to go out there, find me some petrified wood, but I can't feel my knees.
Exactly.
Well, you're going to feel a lot less than your knees if you don't do it.
Well, that's the other thing. If people are outside when the sun goes down, it drops to like -70, so it's only the people around the furnaces, which are keeping your fuel going, will stay alive. So that's the other thing. You've got to keep the fuel piling into the city. So it's like you're literally sending some people out to die knowing that they won't make it back, but you can establish a mine of stuff coming back.
Yeah.
It's fucking hardcore.
Yes. Sounds it.
So I stopped that and I downloaded Octodad and played that instead.
So you went from something light and fluffy to something really serious.
Yeah, exactly. Octodad's
excellent.
So, anything else? I guess the only other thing is my foot is feeling better. And I went out for a walk with the dog, and that was lovely. And she's fine, and she's ticking around. And I'm like, no, everything's beautiful. The sun is shining. The frost is drizzled over the forest floor.
This country couldn't get any better.
No. And then the dog goes for a shit in the woods, which is understandable. But you know what? Responsible dog looker after her, dog sitter. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pick it up. So I go over there.
And then you remembered, after you'd picked it up, that, fuck, I've got plastic bags in my pocket, haven't I?
I do, yeah. Well, no, that was it. I had plastic bags in my pocket. So I go over there. I'm still full of the joys of spring. I pick over the bag. I reach down. I grab it. And you know those perforated bags where you rip them off there's like a roll of them and you rip them off?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I've ripped them off and there's a hole in the bottom of the bag. And I've put my fingers straight through into the turd. Steamy, warm turd. All in my nails. I'm at least 10 minutes away from the car. I'm at least 30 minutes away from home. And I've got
Is
this...
that when you caught your hands in the door and put your finger in your mouth?
Yeah. No, so now I've got a handful of dog shit and ripped plastic. So then I'm like...
That's the album cover right there.
Dog shit and ripped plastic. That's actually...
Dog shit and ripped... That could be some sort of blues group.
That's my biography title.
Dog shit and ripped plastic.
Yeah. And then I pull out another bag and I think, well, okay, I'm going to rub my hands on the grass or something in a second. But so I open up the next bag.
Just going to burn the hands. I'm just going to chop them off and chuck them in the fire.
I'm just going to go for the Doctor Hook maneuver.
Yep.
But anyway, so then I take the turd, I put it into the bag, I let it go. That also has a hole in it, and it drops straight through.
Buying these fucking
It drops straight through the bag. It lands on my leg, rolls all the way down my leg, and I'm like, oh man. And then I'm like, just as I can't, and I've got it balancing on my knee. I've brought my knee up, and I'm like, I'm sort of standing in the forest, shit on my hand, shit on my knee, like a little pile of like shitty Angel Delight. And I'm like, I've just got to bite the bullet and pick it up. And I've got to pick it up off my knee. As I've done that, I've fallen forward, put my leg forward, and it's rolled the rest of the distance down my leg, straight onto my shoe.
From blue jeans to brown cords.
Yeah, right on the end of my shoe, and it's like, and it's all in my laces, and it's then
just
finally,
strip naked, burn the clothes, just bonfire.
Yeah,
fucking lighter fuel.
Exactly.
There we go.
And that was the thing, because then obviously the viscosity can only maintain its shape so long, and basically it hit my shoe and just went poof. It was just like a shit dandelion all across my shoe. And there I was for the next 10 minutes picking up morsels of shit around my shoe, out of my shoe, off my leg, off my hand. Merry Christmas.
And suddenly you were out without the dog walking group that you started off with. There was nobody around anymore.
Surprisingly, they wouldn't let me in Starbucks afterwards.
No, I bet.
With my brown trail down my leg. So that's that. I think that's about sums up this Christmas. Went to see a film, but I'm going to mention that in the 2018 thing, so I won't mention that. So that's that. And with that, let's get going on the films of 2018. Roll the jingle. Woo. I don't know if we got a jingle, but let's just roll it.
Happy New Year, Happy New Year, may we all...
Right, okay, so here we are, 2019, but we're looking back at 2018. 2018 was one of those years which I think wasn't. I don't think it's a prime year. I think there were really good shining examples of films, but it wasn't one of those years I think we're going to look back on in 20 years, 30 years time and go, you know what, that was the best of times. That was one where, not like 1982 where you could go Aliens, Thing, Poltergeist, Blade Runner. You could go like bing, bang, bang, bing, bang, bong. But I don't know. I mean, there's going to be good films. There's going to be bad films. We're going to go around and we're going to talk about them, see which ones we liked, which ones we didn't, which ones we kind of okay, I guess. And so we're going to do quick sum up, little talk around, and see how it goes until we all just give up. I think we just be honest with the listeners.
Yeah,
sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. Once the time runs out, once the countdown clock finishes, and it's actually like 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday afternoon, we'll 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, then we'll stop. Okay, once we've covered absolutely every single film in existence. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do good ones first. A good one first, rather. Yeah. So we'll go around the table and find a good one. So, Elton, you get the honour of going first, sir. What is one of your good films, and then good, excellent, amazing films of 2018?
So I get the honour of kicking it all off. I'm going to kick off with one that we've already reviewed on this show.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is my good one is Annihilation.
That's all right.
There you go.
That's great.
The sound of like 3 people scribbling their list off and going, oh, fuck it.
Tick that off.
Oh, bollocks.
No, I'm joking.
No, suck it, losers. I got there first. Yeah, good work. No, yeah, Annihilation. That was kind of that was a great film. Have you seen it? Have you seen it again since? I haven't, but do you know what? I've thought about it a lot. I think that's why it's up there for me, because when we reviewed it, I really, really liked it. I liked the aesthetics of it. It was that little alien weird bug monster at the very end that mimicked her that turned me off the first time of watching it. But the more I think about it, the more I like it. And it's one where you come away thinking about things a lot more. And I know it's a trilogy of books, isn't it? So yes. I was unaware of that until we reviewed it. And so I want more from this. And I got so much from that movie. I thought it just looked beautiful. It looked like The Last of Us, the video game, which I've played little bits of, and I need to play more of. And it's made me want to think about it more. I like all the actors in it. I like the metaphors behind it as well. Yeah. And I think it worked really well. It was the right movie at the right time, and it just worked well.
Elton.
And I think we kind of all agreed on that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so. It was certainly a surprise. I don't know what any of us were expecting, but I think it was the most.
It landed that week. We just all decided we were going to watch it because it was I think it was the first. It was one of those first sort of cinematic releases on Netflix.
That's right.
That was supposed to be at the cinema at the same time. I think.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to hear our thoughts on it, go to episode 351.
I mean, we had quite a deep discussion
we went
about all the aspects of...
Our ears popped. We went that deep on a dive.
Yeah, I think so. Elton, just where the game front is concerned with Annihilation, if you happen to have a working PC or a Mac, try playing Stalker, The Shadow of Chernobyl. That has got shades of this in it. I mean, that's based on another book anyway, but it's very much the sort of weird and quite random and left field stuff that suddenly happens in the environment. You know, sort of like strange.
It's part of the family
anomalies.
tree, basically.
Yeah. Cool.
Annihilation family tree goes Colour from Outer Space.
Yes.
The novel Roadside Picnic.
Yes, that one.
It's film version Stalker. Stalker Shadows over Chernobyl. Annihilation, pretty much.
Yeah, and wasn't Stalker a series of books anyway?
No, Stalker was Roadside Picnic.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
right.
basically what it was. That's basically what Stalker's based on. And before that, you had the film Stalker, which was this 3-hour Russian epic.
Yeah.
About very much that sort of same subject. There's a zone that nobody's supposed to go into, and the 3 scientists get led into this place. And it's like the guy that's taken them through, the actual Stalker himself, has got things like he's got bolts on bits of string which he throws to see if anomalies kick off, because you can't really see
them until you stumble in.
Exactly, he throws them in front just to see if it the environment reacts to where they're walking. I do remember seeing that many years ago. It's black and white.
Oh, maybe we'll seek it out, see what we can find.
That'd be great. I'd like to give that another go.
Cool. Okay.
It also got me thinking as well. Now, I think I threw this out to you guys off air when we recorded that episode, but I was thinking Natalie Portman, because I didn't expect to do that sort of role, but I think from my perspective, she'd be good as Amanda Ripley.
Oh,
actually,
interesting. Which is also double ironic, seeing as the news of a new Amanda Ripley game has literally dropped today.
Has it?
Yeah, mobile.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's mobile. Alien Blackout.
Oh, God.
But yeah, you know what's even funnier?
What's that?
Everyone's going, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's not. It's actually the old ZX Spectrum Alien where you're looking down on the map.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's exactly what it looks
there.
like. It's exactly
Then
what
I
it
am
looks
there
like.
for that one.
Anyway, cool. Right, okay, yeah, I mean, I think she would. I think she'd be a great Amanda Ripley, but I just don't want to see that as a film. Because I've been burnt as an Alien fan so much. I'm literally the abused partner now. I'm literally just making excuses for it while it keeps walking me into doors and telling me to shut up and make dinner.
I personally don't want to see the Ripley name come up, but if it does go down that route, then I think she's a shoo-in for it.
Cool. Well, maybe we will. We never know. Stranger things have happened in the last 12 months on films like that, so we'll see. But cool. Okay, so we're off to a flying start. Annihilation's a good call. Right. Unfortunately, it's probably everyone's call, so we've all lost one off the list there. So, Jim, over to you, sir. What's your first good one of the year, do you think?
Well, we started with the letter A, and I'll keep it sort of alphabetical.
Okay.
And I will throw in Bird Box.
Bird Box.
Oh, yes.
Now, the thing is with Bird Box, I've got to say, I've not seen it.
You haven't watched it yet?
No. I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
So I can't even...
No.
I can't even do the... Can we just have a little spoiler zone section here for just a minute?
No.
Oh, that's so unfair.
Yeah, I'm going to smile at you while I say that. No, you can't.
He's going to kick your teeth in for you next time. A little piece of nugget there, that nugget of information, I can't reveal it now. So,
thing is, I've read the book, but no.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know, right.
No,
okay.
I know stuff, but I don't know if it's in the film or not.
Oh, well, what I'll say is, right, okay, the film Bird Box, from what I'm gathering, is it's softer.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's like The Road in terms of like the book was not something you wanted to watch.
The book gives no real hope at all, whereas the film gives you a tiny sliver of hope because they couldn't go there.
Yes, exactly. Cool. Okay, Bird Box. So tell me about it, Jim. What did you think of it, mate?
Well, it's one that it dropped on Netflix, and I was aware there was the book, and I was also aware the film was coming. and so I kind of held off reading the book. So I thought, well, let's give the film a fair shake first. So I'm not just sat there going, well, didn't do that in the book. Didn't do that in the book.
No.
Which I do find that actually does work better.
Yes.
I'm quite keen to read the book now. But I would say it's kind of like it's a good companion piece to A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Very much so.
I'd also say it's The Happening done right.
Okay, that's kind of damning with faint praise, isn't it? Really, The Happening done right just has to be filmed in the right direction.
But I think it's got a great cast. I mean, Sandra Bullock is obviously great, but you've got John Malkovich, Sarah Paulson, Tom Hollander, and there's lots of sort of quite sort of heavyweight actors who turn up for for cameos or like bit parts, as it were. So it's got a very solid cast. It's beautifully shot, and it's just one of those films, kind of like A Quiet Place, where it's thought about a situation and it's thought into the corners of the world. And I just thought it was just really, really intriguing as a concept, and really well played, and it just all unfolded nicely. And it was kind of maybe it's a little over long. I've heard some people say that, but I found actually it was just
wrong.
Quite nicely paced along. Actually,
you've seen, of course, we've all seen The Quiet Place.
Yes.
Thinking about Bird Box, I think actually, considering the sort of obstacles she meets along the way, there's one factor that it kind of has over The Quiet Place that I think is actually adds more a terrifying aspect to this whole thing.
Go
and
on.
It's
without spoiling it.
I can't really spoil it, but Jim,
are you talking about the nature of the problem?
Yeah, and the nature of certain people because of the problem. That, for me,
that was
just adds...
really creepy.
It just takes it to a whole new level. It gives you an extra danger in it that A Quiet Place didn't have.
Well, it's also the nature of the problem is it's kind of almost... I think you could argue quite clearly, it is almost kind of a Lovecraftian aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it isn't just a physical threat, shall we say?
No, it's an internal threat as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, if it's like anything like the book, it is anyway.
It's done. Not reading the book.
You don't see it. Let's put it this way: do you not see it?
You don't.
Or them.
You don't see
whatever it might be.
Exactly. You see the effects of it.
Okay, that's cool.
And
one character has some drawings that may or may not be related to it.
Okay.
Which are really fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But there are some fantastic performances in this. And like I say, I think it's actually, thinking about it, I think it's scarier than A Quiet Place. I think there's an added level to it that The Quiet Place didn't have. It was, I mean, The Quiet Place was just... humanity was being hit by this. I can't really say anything more.
Okay. I tell you what. Let's just leave it there and just take it there because you're going to do something.
It's very hard to say.
You're going to spoil something.
It really is. I think there's an added level of terror.
Okay.
To this.
Well, if I watch it over this weekend, then maybe we'll talk about it.
You already know what the added level is.
I know, but
I
don't know what's in the book versus what's in the film. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
So you could be talking about something completely different, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway,
we'll discuss this off air.
We'll discuss it another time. So because we've only done 2 films, we've done 20 minutes. So let's get on to you then, Darren. What's your first good film?
Okay, I'm just going to go for one of my favourites of this year.
Yeah.
I had such a great time watching.
Yeah.
And that was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Nice.
I don't care whether it's historically accurate or not. The film in general had me entertained all the way through, and it packed enough emotional punch to leave its mark by the end of it. And I think it's very unfair that Rami Malek was the only one that got a Best Actor award for this, because I've got to say the guy who played Brian May and also Roger Deacon and
Roger Taylor.
Roger Taylor. I don't know,
I've not
but
seen it, by the way.
Roger, it's the fact that it added a whole new. So I look at Brian May in a different light now, and I definitely look at Brian Deacon in a different light. If the film is correct, then I didn't realise he was that funny. He's got Brian Deacon,
Roger Deacon?
Roger. Is it Roger?
Roger Deacon and
It's Roger
Brian
Taylor.
Blimey.
Anyway, Deacon has got
John Deacon.
John Deacon.
I was going to say, so how's that being that Queen superfan? Good.
Fucking hell, yeah. Well, he was the quiet one in the band. This is it.
right,
But
okay.
in the film,
You
you
call him
realise.
Joey Deacon.
Oh,
One for the 70s lads out there.
there you go. But no, you realise just that he actually adds a really quite a wicked sense of humour. But it was very subtle, very underplayed.
Yeah.
And yeah, the guy who played Brian May just got him spot on.
Right.
In fact, they were all really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
But it's
Rami Malek, as far as I'm concerned, deserved the award he got
Yeah.
in the Golden Globes
The
recently.
bits I've seen of him doing it, I just thought looked amazing. So, yeah.
It is good. Like I say, as a piece of entertainment, whether it's historically accurate or not, I mean, there have been things pointed out about it where it isn't,
Okay.
but I don't care. It's a great put together film. As a Queen fan, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, just because it includes various tunes in it. Not
Nice.
a great raft of all the early stuff. There's some things that are missing that they didn't do. But the one track, I think it's. Has anybody else seen this? Is it just me?
I think it's just you.
Yeah, I've not seen it yet. I wanted to see it though.
There's a whole joke about Roger Taylor's this one track that he wrote called "I Love My Car,"
Right.
and that it gets a bit of a battering, that tune. But yeah, I loved it.
Okay. Well, cool. Okay. So that was Bohemian Rhapsody. So cool. And my good one, my first good one, and I think there might be a bit of a theme going through my good ones, but we'll see if I can break that theme.
Yeah.
My first good one, The Incredibles 2.
Oh God, yeah.
Which was absolutely fucking class.
Brilliant.
I mean, you know, say what you like about a lot of films, and we have said a lot about a lot of films, but let's be honest, sequels usually come with that kind of, oh, here we go, you know, and then when you add in sort of like subtle sort of like, you know, gender swapping or, you know, focusing on a female character, then there's all the sort of internet trolls flaring up. You get a lot of stuff that swirls around a sequel, and a sequel that tries to completely focus on something, making the Robert Parr, the dad, the stay-at-home dad, and, you know, Elastigirl goes off to work. You know, there will be an aspect of the internet which will go, oh, don't like that, don't like women in me Pixar films, and you know what? None of that matters, because I tell you what, it's a fucking entertaining sequel, a sequel which, if I'm honest, I think is actually better than the original.
Yeah, you think so?
I do, because I got it, because that was another one of my DVDs I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I've seen them both really quite close together. And the first one is an amazing origin story, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
But the other one really does a good number on character. The humour's great. The sequence with Jack and the raccoon is just genius.
That is fantastic.
The action sequences with Elastigirl when she's trying to catch a monorail.
Oh God, yeah.
Is so the choreography of that whole sequence with using her skills and how she's got the ability to break this bike apart. So then she's literally doing things where she's turning into sort of like two unicycles and flipping herself over traffic, and it's just it's an audacious sequel, and it's really well done. And the villain is a much better villain, I thought, in terms of the screenslaver. And yeah, I mean, apart from a slightly weaker third act, but there's more. But the whole sequence with, like, you know, hypnotized superheroes and all that kind of stuff, I just thought it was great. I just thought there was so much fun and so much. It was so technically brilliant.
It was the fact that it's kind of B-list.
Oh yeah,
the second stage heroes are the ones that had to take the thing on their own shoulders and actually deal with the issue. That
I mean, it was everything. I mean, even giving the kids more to do with the Incredi car and all that sort of stuff. And this, like I say, the screenslaver himself is quite a creepy thing, especially there's a sequence with Elastigirl and Screenslaver in this like flashing strobe light cube thing.
Yeah,
where she's fighting him and can't see what he's doing, and he's attacking her. I just thought the whole thing was so well done, and it was probably the only film. Well, there's one other film which is on my list, which came out where I literally walked away from it at the end, going, "Oh, I really want to go and see that again." It was such fun. It was so much fun. And that's the other thing. There's a lot of films this year where you kind of come away going, "That was good, but I might need to take a deep breath before I go and see it again."
Yeah.
But whereas The Incredibles and one other one on my good list, I just was like, "Oh, that's just great, fantastic work." So there you go. So that's Incredibles 2. So we move on to the first of our meh films. Now, these are films which are neither really good nor really bad, but just pretty much underwhelming, I think is probably the best way of putting it. Films which didn't quite make the grade, or you didn't really hate them enough to say they were shit, but didn't like them enough to sort of recommend them to anyone either.
Right.
So have a little think about that, Dale, because I'm seeing you look at that list. But while we're thinking about,
the one that I was going to mention is kind of midway between, being quite bad and also really, really good.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, that was okay.
Yeah, okay, that counts. That counts. Well,
okay films.
We'll come to that then. We'll keep that on your list then. We'll go to Elton then. And what was your first meh film of 2018, Elton?
Okay, I'm going to say Deadpool 2.
Ooh, controversial. So Deadpool 2 just was meh for you, was it?
Well, yeah. I think we all know my history with superheroes. And I think I preferred the first one. I think the problem with Deadpool 2 is that there's a period, without trying to spoil things, around the Act 2, I suppose, where there's not a lot of Deadpool.
Really?
And, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll talk about that off air. I don't know which bit you're referring to be honest.
I don't know what bit you're referring to.
Because he's in it pretty much every single frame of the film. Are you talking about the fact that he's not actually Deadpool?
Yeah.
I know where we are, Darren. I'm going to just... The round his neck. What? No, not you. I'm trying to describe the bits in the film.
Okay.
He's not going to kill you.
Not going to kill you. No, I'm not. I'm the bit around the neck.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I think I know where you're at now. Yeah, go on.
And I'm there to see a sarcastic, sweary, kick-ass Deadpool there. And that middle bit went on a bit too long for me. And the first bit was good. The second bit was good enough. I just don't think it was as slick, as sharp, as cutting, as pointy as the first one.
It's interesting because you know what? I mean, it's interesting because I love the first one, and the second one had a couple of sequences which in the cinema literally had me in tears of laughter. I mean, Sarah was sitting with me and she was like getting really embarrassed with the X-Force sequence. and because I was just literally pissing myself, but we have seen it since, and I have to say I can't say that I feel that it's as good as the first one. I mean, almost going back to Incredibles 2. So I do see where you're coming from, because it's almost like the first one was a surprise. The second one needed to up the ante instead of just do the same thing again.
Yeah.
Does that make more sense? Because it is great. I think it's great anyway. But I do get where you're coming from. It's trying to put too much story into a character which really doesn't need it.
No, it should be, and I suppose it is to a certain extent full of shenanigans, but they need to be. This was an 18, I'm guessing.
I think the second one was a 15, wasn't it?
Really?
I'm pretty sure it was a 15, not an 18, because there were bits and pieces in it where in the first one they really pulled off, like, some, pardon the jokes, pulled off some really near the knuckle gags. Whereas in the second one they kind of skew the camera away so you don't see some of those gags, but you get to know that they're there.
I think they, it wasn't as close to the knuckle. I think that's what I went in for. I went in for the 18. You get the blood and the gore and the humour as well, and the turns to the camera and the winks and stuff like that. The stuff that you, I suppose, would come to expect from that type of movie. And like the intro is brilliant. I love the intro to it. But there's just something not quite there. There is a deeper story to it, which you didn't really get in the first one.
Yeah.
And the quick wit wasn't as sharp.
Yeah.
Or what I was hoping to. It's good. It's really good. But when you've got the bartender doing the same, I'm going to repeat this gag and just monologue on this gag again and again and again. Yeah, we're expecting that. But then you need to raise it up just a little notch. Be a bit more cutting. Be a bit more, I can't believe that. That's what you need. And it didn't quite do that. It almost stepped back and went, do you know what? We need a larger audience for this. Let's drop the rating down just a little bit and pull in everyone.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, I do get exactly what you're on about, because, I tell you what it's like the Naked Gun sequels. If you saw any of the sequels on their own without seeing the first one, they would have seemed quite fresh and new and interesting and fun. But with the first one to compare against and the TV show to compare against, you kind of see the same things repeating.
Yeah.
So it feels a little tired where it should be feeling fresh.
Well, with the Naked Gun films, they became less World of the Fantastic, like, because the very first one is airplane with policemen, right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of lessens that till it becomes just a light comedy by number 3.
Yeah.
It's not the same sort of nice beaver and then handing down the beaver thing. There's none of that sort of...
Yeah. Play on words and slightly gross out humour sort of thing.
Give it to me from the beginning. Well, first the Earth cooled, then the dinosaurs came along, but they died and became
that's
oil.
Airplane.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's that sort of humour that was in the first one of that. But you don't get that further along down than the...
So do you disagree with Elton? I mean, or do you think...
Yeah, I liked it more than he liked it.
Yeah, but would you put it in your good category, or would you keep it in...
No, I put it in the good. I still think it personally, it rates that because of some of the clever stuff it did.
Some of it was very good.
Yeah, and I especially like the sequences at the very end as well. The bit where they go overkill and right some wrongs.
Yes,
throughout Deadpool history. So
yes. Yeah, but that's almost the thing, isn't it? I mean, that's almost what Elton's saying, and what I was saying is, like, there are sequences and gags in it. It's just like really, really strong stuff, but the bits in between sometimes don't, almost like too talky for a character which is essentially a Looney Tunes character. In the first one, he's after Francis. That's the story. End of. And and
but then if you keep doing that you're just going to get people complaining about it not having enough story.
Yeah,
and then they
I
give
get
it some story, and then they say, well, there's not enough
character to support the story.
There's not enough something else in it. It's like, oh, maybe it was too much of this.
We fans are fickle.
We are. So, yeah, I don't think you can do what you did in the first one and not have people say, well, that was just a blatant soul rip-off of the first one. Because the surprise, as you pointed out, Elton, the surprise from the first one there, that sort of slap in the face shock, because we haven't seen anything like this before when the first Deadpool came out.
No.
So, it is like getting a slap in the face. That slap in the face, you're ready for it next time.
Yeah.
So there's only so far you can take that, I think.
Jim, sorry, were you going to say something?
Yeah, well, Deadpool 2 feels to me sort of suffers from second album syndrome, where you get a band who's fresh and new and they deliver a very sort of tightly polished, compact set of songs, which does really well and everyone loves it. Then they get a second album and they spend too long in the studio.
Yeah.
And it just starts to feel a bit overproduced, and the songs are good. There's some stormers on there. There's other bits we feel, that's not as good, and it doesn't feel as a cohesive whole. That's the second one. I mean, it's not third album syndrome, where they've done a triple disc and had too much cocaine and been monstrously self-indulgent. But there's elements of that in, I think, Deadpool 2. I think there's some amazing bits in it, and it's a good expansion from the first. But I think it could have done with being a bit tighter and spikier. And there was points where it was just teetering on that I'm totally coked up, let's do another 500 tracks of overdubbing onto this track syndrome about to happen.
Yeah. I agree. And, like I said before, when you suddenly, I think since seeing something like Incredibles 2, where you see a sequel that takes the original premise and then expands upon it, you sort of look back on Deadpool 2 with a slightly bit of a sort of vague hindsight and go, well, it was really good in places and it was really solid in places, but in other places it was a bit saggy and a bit repetitive and a bit of a greatest hits album, to use the album analogy. But anyway, okay, well, there you go. So in the meh column is, for Elton, is Deadpool 2. So what about you then, Jim? What comes in your sort of okay?
I will throw in Spawn. I mean Venom.
Venom. Well, there you go. Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but it just sort of sat there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, afterwards, considering the length of it as well, I thought you took far too long to tell me that paper-thin story, which in other superhero movies, that would be just the first act.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, Tom Hardy was fine in it. The relationship between him and Venom was fun. But it was kind of, you could have done so much more with this. And why didn't you? You had 2 hours. How did you achieve so little?
Yeah.
Also, just, a note to anyone doing this kind of movie out there. If your main character is a big, muscular shape in a black, shiny suit, let me tell you, even in 2019, you're going to struggle not to make your big action sequences not look like a cutscene in a PlayStation game. Black Panther, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, what was that on the train, man? Seriously.
I don't know. I couldn't see the score. I couldn't work out what was going on. I didn't know how many lives he had left or anything.
Yeah, you won't get any arguments with me on Venom. Oh, he says glancing quickly over that one before we get burnt at the stake.
But, it's kind of, I think, kind of that black, shiny look. It's hard to make that not look very fake, even with the best CGI possible.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I think, you need a smarter design choice to give the suit some sort of texture of its own rather than it's black and shiny. Oh, yeah, it just looks like a cheaply animated bin liner going berserk.
Yeah, an extra from American Beauty doing a dance in the middle of the street.
I mean, I felt kind of, I think Venom, could have done with a dose of what Deadpool has. So, gone for the harder rating, gone for more of the violence, and it was kind of more of the humour.
Yeah, definitely.
As not a bad film, but a very forgettable one. It's an improvement on the last cinematic outing for that character. I'll give it that. But
yes,
other than that, it was kind of like I watched it. It was there. It did not linger in my mind.
Yeah, I must admit, I was taken by some of the dialogue between Venom and Tom Hardy, but. Yeah, I have to say, after the initial sort of buzz of, that wasn't quite as shit as I thought it was.
It did actually look like Venom as well, shape-wise. It's like Venom's like about 9 foot tall and
12 foot wide.
Yeah, and he definitely was in this. So they got it spot on. It wasn't just Topher Grace in a fucking leotard,
No. But that's not saying much. That's not much of a recommendation for a film. It's not Topher Grace in a leotard. Isn't really something that should be on the poster. Actually, that's a good Patreon poster quote.
What's that? It's
not
Topher Grace in a
leotard.
Wait, I made the quote. Right, good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that was Venom. So, Darren, what was your meh film?
Okay. Well, you see, I thought it was an okay film, right, for what it was. Anybody, of course, who's listened to this podcast has heard me talk about how I like post-apocalyptic stuff, and especially zombie films.
Yeah.
And the one I'm bringing to the table is a zombie film that was released last year.
Okay.
That got put onto Netflix. It was called The Night Eats the World.
I've never even heard of it.
You've probably seen the trailer for it. It's all set in Paris, and it's about. It starts off with a guy going back to his what I assume is a place he was living in with his ex, and he goes back to collect some tapes from her, right? Some like his family stuff that he's recorded, and he turns up at this party, and it's naturally full of arseholes. And she wants to talk to him about something, so she says to him, "Look, just hang around for a bit and have a drink." And so you see him, and this is within the space of 5 minutes. This all kicks off, right? So it doesn't really hang around to begin with. It gets the whole apocalypse thing out of the way pretty quickly. And he hangs around at the party, and then she says to him, "Well, your tapes are in the back room. Go into the office. It's quieter in there. Just wait for me." Guy falls asleep in the office. And while he's asleep, you suddenly hear this banging, crashing going on, people screaming. He's still passed out. And when he wakes up...
28 days later.
It's the next day and everything is in ruins, right? It's like there's fucking cars strewn across the street, stuff like this. And of course, there's been a viral outbreak.
Yeah.
Now, it's pretty much him trying to survive in this flat.
Yeah.
Okay, so what he's got to do is he's got the apartment block, and it's the whole thing of, it follows the whole Dawn of the Dead thing where he has to go and secure the place and whatever. And all he's got to keep him company is this box of tapes, which he's recorded for himself. It's like old memories of his school, of his childhood, and stuff like this. And there's obviously stuff that it's not explaining. It's not... the film itself is not in French. It's actually the actor is, I think he's American, the guy that's in there. The thing that for me that stands out in this film, which could be, applied to as pretty generic, are the zombies themselves in this.
Right.
Now the difference with these zombies, and this is something that thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, that makes total fucking sense. These zombies don't make any sounds themselves apart from the physical noise of actually travelling.
Oh, right.
So you don't hear them going, because they're dead. They don't breathe. So why would air be passing through their vocal cords?
Fair point.
That's it. They're totally silent. You just hear their teeth gnashing together, and it just adds to the creepiness.
And what's this called again?
It's called The Night Eats the World.
The Night Eats the World.
Yeah. It's a pretty standard zombie flick. But like I say, the thing that stands out for me were the zombies themselves, because, and it's got slight shades of I Am Legend in there as well because of the isolation this bloke starts suffering from as well.
Yeah.
It starts affecting him in various ways. How he starts losing his mind, and there's like one sequence when he just emotionally gets a bit too much for him, and he just lets all the anger go.
Yeah,
with a drum kit he finds in one of the flats, and it's when the zombies turn up, there's loads of them, but they're not making any noise, and they're all reaching towards him and gesturing with their mouths, and it's just really
creepy,
quite weird. You're expecting it to all to stand there all going, but it's nothing.
Nice.
You just hear him running, and that's it.
Okay.
And that's the thing for me that makes this a little bit special.
Yeah.
The acting's nothing special in it, but the story was just a little bit different.
Okay.
That's all. So
Night That Eats the World.
Yeah, if it's like I say, it's not going to be like the best. You're not going to think it's the best zombie movie ever, but it's just slightly different enough.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, there you go. That's unusual to have a 2018 movie listed that we haven't actually heard of or seen. Have you heard of this, Jim?
I've heard people talking about it, but not seen it.
Yeah, the trailers were on at the cinema as well, so it snuck onto Netflix a little while ago.
Okay.
So yeah, The Night That Eats the World.
Well, there you go. Night That Eats the World, huh?
I've just put that on my list. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. Or maybe we'll have it for Halloween this year.
We could do, actually. It's nothing too taxing, but it's pretty much a straight up zombie film. So
so there you go. Well, that's interesting. I'm really quite curious about that now.
Yeah.
Okay, which is odd for a meh film. It suddenly piqued all our interest, and we're going to go and watch it.
We all go watch it.
Yeah.
I think that whole silent aspect of it adds to a bit of tense.
Yeah.
The tense things in some of the scenes as well, because it's like
you can't hear them until you see them, sort of thing.
Exactly. It's like walking into a road and not hearing a truck, and it's like you've got electric engines on cars now where you can't hear them.
Yeah.
And turning around and find that there's one speeding towards you 3 foot away.
Yeah.
It's that kind of
yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, Night That Eats the World. That's definitely gonna.
Yeah. It's all right.
Cool. It's all right.
Yeah. It's all right.
Nice.
It's good enough, I think.
Right, okay. Well, then, for me, let's go to the other end of the budget spectrum for my meh film. My meh film which I felt by the end of it, I should have been more angry about it, but I couldn't bring myself to be angry about it. I should have gone the other way and been really up for it, but I couldn't be up for it. I just left the cinema feeling no worse or better than when I went in. Right, and that is Solo, a Star Wars story.
Right, okay.
Seriously, man. I mean, on paper or looking at the trailers, I was either going, this is going to be great, or fuck this movie. And I went in to watch it, and I sat there, and it just passed in front of my eyes like me waiting for a train that wasn't stopping at my platform. And it just went down one end, out the other, and I felt like it literally had an impact on me the same way as someone on the other side of town having a fart had an impact on me. It was butterfly effect of nothing. It just, I watched the Kessel Run, which should have got 7-year-old me going, woo! I watched the Dawn of the Millennium Falcon. I saw, was it? Stuff, exactly. I saw droid rebellions. I saw the start of the rebellion. I saw Han Solo being cool and getting to get his ship for the first time. I get to see him being part of the Empire and getting away from that. I saw him being with Chewbacca. And you know what? I couldn't give a flying fuck about any of it. I genuinely couldn't. I thought Alden Ehrenreich was okay as doing an impersonation karaoke of Harrison Ford. I thought the guy playing Chewbacca stood in a suit particularly well. I thought everyone who was going to be in his Magnificent Seven style, sort of like Dirty Dozen kind of heist movie thing would have, was all perfectly serviceable, but that plot just disappeared out the window. The music, oh God, the music. I mean, I think this was. Is this the one when Alexander Desplat got kicked off of? And all I know is that someone had to take over at short notice, and
Busker's orchestra humming vaguely remembered bits of John Williams all the time.
Yeah, and then when it started sticking, and then that's the thing, and I should have been a lot more angry as well when they started doing the Kessel Run, and you suddenly get bits of the music from like Empire Strikes Back, the asteroid sequence going. Da, 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 da. It's like it's the greatest hits by a bunch of has-been fucking wannabe play actors pretending to do the music, and it's like. That just sums up the whole film. It was just a really, really expensive fan film. And the problem is, all fan films, and I've got to say it, all fan films just want to basically recreate the bits of the films that they like over and over again. Which is why you get Star Trek fan films. And always it's Federation at War! Why you get sort of like Star Wars fan films, which always have a fucking Boba Fett in it, always have a lightsaber fight in it. It's just make something of your own. And Solo was the world's most expensive, tedious fan film. I could have been really angry about it, but I wasn't, and I could have been quite stoked for it, but I wasn't. I came out of there no more mentally nourished than if I just stared at a white page for an hour and 3/4 while someone harmonica John Williams in my ear. It's tedious guff. Really tedious guff.
I personally didn't have that much trouble with it. I watched it, and
it will exactly.
Enjoyed it.
It's just.
I've seen it. I've actually. We had it on at Christmas as well because it was on the Sky when we went to have dinner.
Yeah,
Ree's parents they had it on there, and I still sat and watched it and still enjoyed it.
Yeah, people like it. I know people like it, but I get the feeling. Well, I get the feeling, which is what I know, and I think that's probably colouring my expectations as well. But it felt like what it was, which was a film that was halfway made, and then someone just stopped. And then went, no, let's start again and take all this bit out and let's go and put some other bits in and let's have some completely pointless fucking double-crossing sequence with a big head of a gangland boss, and let's have another thing with a caterpillar lady over here, and let's have another thing over here with a heist, which is probably the actual end sequence of the entire film. But we'll have that. Oh, let's what else? Let's go through the Wikipedia. He was supposed to have had a card game with fucking Lando Calrissian. Quick, stick that in there. It's just like just pick a fucking lane and stick to it, dude. There was a quite clear story. Dirty Dozen with Han Solo doing a train raid off the Empire.
The problem was there was about a dozen stories in there,
exactly.
And that's what irked me about it.
Yeah,
is that it made for me the same mistake as the prequels did.
Yeah,
and that is you take all those little nuggets that we know about the character's backstory, which up until that point were scattered. Like little points of light in a vast dark sea of space.
Oh, very nice.
But then what they did, though, they took those nuggets of light, slapped them together, and made a novelty sideboard ornament saying, I love Solo, like a fucking tacky neon tube you buy in the rain that'll burn out in 2 weeks if it doesn't burn your fucking house down. And you've compressed all that backstory and made it all fit together into one seamless thing when it shouldn't have. It wasn't. No. These were incidents and those other bits in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Han meeting Chewie, that's one story. Han getting off Proxima and, beating Big Bad Caterpillar Lay, that could be another story.
Yeah.
Reading Lando, another story. Getting the Falcon, another story. You've just literally, done yourself out of at least 6 films you could have done.
Yeah.
It didn't all happen in a week, did it?
Yeah.
It all happens in far too short a space of time, and the music pissed me off. Just wibbling on all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kessel He had all the drama of the Kestrel run, which what me and my mates did when we tried to buy cheap cider at the local offie.
racing round people throwing kebabs at you.
But you know, they kind of with they have a bit when they near the end of it, and they actually break out the full Star Wars, you know, the famous Star Wars theme, and they're trying to do what Bond films do, because you know the Bond films, they always have that sequence. The textbook one is the start of A Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah,
where he's been chased on the skis and he goes over that cliff and it all goes quiet. And he's falling and he's falling. Yeah. The parachute opens and then you get the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They tried to do that, but it didn't work because the orchestra hadn't shut its fucking gob for the rest of the sequence. It's going, da-da-da-da-da-da. No, that doesn't work. You've just flattened it.
Yeah, exactly.
All completely.
Yeah.
I didn't. So what? So it just washed over me. I was struggling to stay awake. But it was after the more I thought about it, the more it just really annoyed me. It was just you did that all wrong.
Yeah. Sorry, Elton, what were you going to say?
I made it 20 minutes into it.
Oh, and that was it, was it?
Yeah. It just didn't do anything. I think I'm in the pretty much the same room as you guys for this one, where it's not for me at all. And do you know the bit that really fucked me off?
Go on.
I think when you went to see it and you originally reviewed it, Lee, you said this, but I noticed it and I was like, no, that's wrong. It's when he looked at Han Solo's at a station.
Yeah.
He gets his name given to him.
Oh, God, yes.
But there was a bit where, join the Imperial, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there's a billboard with Death Stars and they've got the music underneath it.
Oh, that's right. The minor key version of the Imperial March playing.
Yeah. And you're like, no, fuck off.
Yeah. Making
Just fuck off.
Exactly. Making it sound like a jaunty theme tune, like sort of thing. It's like, oh, get fucked.
I hated that. And so I made it 20 minutes. I thought the humour was... I think it's where it's gone to Disney, and Disney are gone, well, there's humour in Marvel, but it's a different kind. And they're really kidding it down. Yeah, okay, fine, it's for kids, but it's also for adults as well, because we're the ones paying for the kids to get in. And the jokes are just too fucking lame. Oh, you've just picked up a rock. No, I haven't. I've got a bomb. And it's just calling out to Return of the Jedi again.
Oh, yeah, thermal detonator.
Yeah. No, you just went click with your mouth. No, I didn't. Give over.
Yeah.
It's not amusing, and I don't think kids would find that funny either.
No. I mean, we've got to move on because otherwise we're going to never even get around to the first bad films. But what I will say is one of my good films of this year was produced by the people who got fired off of this film. And after seeing that film, I then wanted them to go back and do Solo, because I tell you what, you could see they would have made a fucking good job of it. And the fact was that they obviously would have had a quirky sense of humour, tried to do it quirky, and the Disney, Lucasfilm, whoever it was, wasn't having it, and just brought in Ron Boring Howard. Because I've not seen a Ron Howard film since Apollo 13, and I thought Apollo 13 was good, by the way, but I've not seen one that he's done since that hasn't just been this for 2.5 hours.
True. Very true.
And because he's got no personality of his own. You just bring him in, switch him on, Ron Bot 5000 switches on, you feed the script in, and he just knocks something out. It was like 7 months. It's like, Ron Bot Online, you want fun? You want entertainment? I am here. There you go. Fantastic. Thanks very much. Do you want one about Moby Dick? Here it is. Do you want Thor in it? It's just, oh, fuck off. It is just, the movie. If I could spell that, I'd put that right across the entire poster. Solo. Anyway, so there you go. Maybe I should go back and re-review it and put it in the bad section. I'm getting more angry the more I think about it. Anyway, It is. Anyway, that's a good segue into the bad section. So, Elton.
Yep.
Your first shit-gobbling movie of 2018.
Okay. Apologies if I step on toes, but...
No, go for it.
Mandy.
Ooh. Curious.
Called it.
Mandy.
Yeah.
Told you it was going to be shit.
Yeah.
Pretentious fucking shit. Yeah, I've not seen it, but I'm going on what Elton's going to say, and it's. I'm predicting the words pretentious and shit in this.
Okay.
This is the biggest pretentious load of shit I've ever seen.
Bingo!
Don't weigh the dice or nothing, Dal.
What do I win?
Nothing.
Do I win the speedboat?
No. You win a poster of Solo. Anyway,
thank you.
Carry on.
It is a film of two halves.
You can say that again.
The half, they correspond to each other, maybe in colour, and that is it. That is the only way that I can see that they even remotely touch each other. It's the first half of the movie. I know I said this when I was watching it on my little post, but fuck me, you need a ton of snort for this.
Yeah.
You need something.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the Blu-ray doesn't come with LSD tabs, then.
No. You can lick the cover and maybe you get some of the
for
paint.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you used to pick up an Amiga format and the disc wasn't... Is your cover disc with your newsagent? Go see him and he'll give it to you. That's where the LSD tabs are when you buy this on Blu-ray. Flipping out. It's far too slow. I know it's meant to be, but fuck you know, no. It's too slow. And then when it goes all batshit crazy, it's too daft. And I just didn't enjoy it whatsoever. It was a film that I endured and I didn't get any entertainment out of it whatsoever. It was a film that I felt that I needed to watch and was prepared to sit down and watch, but I didn't enjoy it one little bit.
Okay. I mean, I firstly, I'm going to say, I mean, Jim, feel free to step in on this one as well. But I mean, as far as it goes, I kind of understand your reaction, and I think Darren will be exactly the same. I appreciated the batshit crazy stuff. I thought it was that kind of crank to you're either going to go with it or you're going to sit there and just go, what the fuck am I watching? You're either going to wake up and go, nope, and turn it off before it goes into, oh, look, he's making himself a new blade. Or you're going to go, you know what? This can't possibly get any more nuts. Oh, it is. And here we go. In which case, yeah, welcome aboard and just sit back and sort of endure the ride. I mean, what about you, Jim? I mean, I understand exactly why he's called it shit, because I can see why, if you're not with it, you're not with it. That's the end of it.
Well, I've seen a lot of people who just have gone nuts and love this movie. Now, for me, I think it's a massive, elaborate joke.
Yeah.
Because basically, I remember when you saw it, you asked if I was going to see it, and you said, had the references to sort of Fulci or Argento. And actually, the right is going for that kind of operatic, sort of total cinema vibe, where it is, you can't just stick up the date on the screen. You have to do it in a prog rock font in glitter.
Exactly.
And it's kind of, but I think the joke of the film, it's essentially doing this kind of like high art house pretentious movie, but the plot is being taken off some Z-grade 1980s exploitation film, and the aesthetic has been took from early 80s heavy metal albums and video game artwork.
Yes.
Yep.
And there was little references to other films is that like a Friday the 13th reference. They mentioned Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Like this in it. And for me, it's kind of I can see why people love the visuals and the music, blah, blah, blah. But, and I can sort of see, I think this is a huge sort of like flicking two fingers at the art house saying, you know, what bullshit will they swallow if I do it big enough?
Yeah.
But for me, I felt actually it was kind of the problem was the first half was far too long in setting up the revenge. And when it got the revenge, it just didn't go far enough. It should have gone really crazy, and it just didn't. It just sort of fizzled out for me. It's kind of, it should have been a lot madder. You know what I mean? And it could have got a lot madder, I think, but it just didn't. And for me, it was just kind of like, it was interesting. And I just file under interesting. It's kind of, well, you know, it's kind of, it's people, I can understand why people love it. I can understand why people hate it. But for me, it just kind of, it didn't really engage me. I was going to have it in one of my Mare films, actually, because it's kind of, I don't really feel very strongly one way or the other about it. So it could have gone, I think, a lot crazier than it did. Yeah, I think that was kind of almost like a fatal flaw in that kind of movie with such a long build-up.
It could have. It should have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just sort of dropping one of the Cenobite drug dealers down into a pit was a bit kind of, no, you know, you have to drop him into a mincer while he's been eaten by killer bees. You know what I mean? You've really got to up your game, man. You know, stop wasting time on the lighting. You know, come up with some crazy, really bad deaths for these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And so for me, so it just sort of fell flat. I could see what it was going for, but I didn't think it was working. And style over substance, I think. And as Elton says, if you're watching it hammered out your mind, it's probably amazing. But
fair enough.
I wasn't.
Well, let me tell you about how I watched it. I was whacked out of my skull on amphetamine. No, anyway. Cool. Okay, then. Fair enough. So, Mandy, down in the shit dip. And so, we continue wading through the complete sewer of shite to Jim's option. Jim?
Well, I'm going to throw this one out there because I expect it's on all our lists. The Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, forgot about that.
God,
well, you may try.
No, that was one of the two on my shit list. There you go.
Oh, poor old Dal.
Is that one of your bottom two, Dal?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I think my last one, or the one I've got, I could probably actually, every time we come back to this, we come back 2 or 3 times to it, I can just do part 2 and another thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't see all the film, but there you go. But anyway, yes,
Cloverfield Paradox. Go on, Jim. You have at it first. I think we're all going to have a crack at it.
I mean, it was one that this is a textbook way of how not to approach a film. I've never seen it come off well, where you take a script and go, no one wants to make this. I'll tell you what, let's try and bolt it onto an existing franchise.
Wow.
And trying to set up the big shock reveal at the end, it was kind of like, honestly, really? It's like, you've given it away in the title, really. We're all just been waiting for that and thought we were going to get to that a lot quicker.
Yep.
You can't just say, there's big monsters destroying the earth. That's the shocker. Yep. But no, we took that as a given with the title, really. You know what I mean? We've seen the other two, thank you very much.
And the monster destroying the earth has suddenly changed in size by about 7,000 feet.
I mean, as a final shot going, it was fucking hilarious. I have to admit.
It was proper Monty Python.
It really was. It was like, oh no, we've got to stop the film. The animator's had a fatal heart attack.
It's like when you open up Photoshop and your font is 400.
Yes.
You're like, oh shit, that's a bit big.
Yeah, kids doing their homework to say that they've done 58 pages, but all they've done is one line in a 72-point font. Yeah, I mean, speaking of fonts, I mean, it really was one of those films where you feel like someone had written a really good script, but then gave it to the intern, and he or she had basically tripped up going down the hall, and nobody had numbered the pages. So he'd like tripped up and dropped it all over the floor, and it's like, oh, fuck it, and put it all back in a higgledy-piggledy order. There was shit that was happening that people just didn't explain, never got explained, never was explained, and will never, ever be explained. The bit with, was it Chris O'Dowd's bloody hand being a clue from another dimension, crawling down a corridor. Why?
Keep expecting him to go into Roy mode. Are you from another dimension?
I am disabled. Yeah.
The thing is, that's another thing. If it continued with the crazy, I'd have been happy. But it didn't. Around the midsection, there lots of crazy things happened, and then they stopped happening. And
Yeah.
they just never speak of them again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do Gravity instead for a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh dear, Roy has been eaten by an entire wall of magnetic things.
You can almost hear Moss giving a commentary. Oh, look, his hand's disappeared, and there's a person over there doing a thing, and, well, that was a thing over there, wasn't it? And
Yes.
I guess this is a big thing with a squiggly bit on the end.
Clearly, Roy, you have forgotten that you've put magnetic sealant on the wall behind you, and the wall in front of you is magnetic. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah, false back feedback.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that.
No. 1 1
Hello?
2 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 5 2 1 4 7 3 8 7 2 2 1 5. Hello? Is this Paradox Helpline? It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
And that room flash freezing as well. You're like, fuck off.
Oh, God. Flash freezing a room full of water. Why? Just because we had a freezing
Just
effect?
because we had some effects budget left, and we thought we'd use it, because if we don't use it, next time we make a film, they'll take some of it away from us, because we managed to save money last time.
Oh,
So,
man.
fuck y'all.
It was fucking awful. It
It was
really
terrible.
was.
It was a fucking awful film. It was a fuck off movie where you sit there going, oh, fuck off. Just fuck off. It's like you got Tourette's.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, when the lady appeared in the wall for no discernible reason, in it.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, she's got like cables and wires and everything going through because she just materialised inside a cavity, a service duct. And then all of a sudden, it's like, maybe we can just cut her out, right? None of those cables go anywhere important anyway, I'm sure. And
She missed all the vital systems on the ship.
all the vital organs in her body, despite looking like she'd had a porcupine fired at her from a cannon at point blank range. Sorry, Jim, carry on.
No, carry on. Yeah, it's just, you can't kick this one enough, really, for just being wrong. I mean, films are banned for many reasons. Sometimes it's a lack of money, it's a lack of time, a lack of talent. This had time, money, and talent. However, what ruined this was being a cynical cash grab.
Yeah. And then they basically
They dropped it as well, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's the way they dropped it
Yeah.
during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was, do you know what? We all know that this film is shit, but how the hell are we going to get everyone to click on it? Well, if we drop it during the Super Bowl and say it's not at cinemas, it's in your house right now, then everyone will click on that. And it happened, didn't it?
Yeah, it's the Apple tech thing, isn't it? It's like saying, oh, we're announcing the new iPhone Obly job. And
we've
you know
given
what?
you YouTube's new album.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, just as and
Even
you
though
will
you
never
don't want it.
you'll never believe it, but you can pre-order it as of now. And then it's that whole thing of just making the excitement before anyone gets a chance to review it or see it or know what the fuck it's about. Oh, it was tedious turd blossom, that was. Darren, do you have anything else to add on it? Because it was on your shit list.
Fuck off.
Okay,
There you go.
fair enough. There you go.
Just stick that in there.
Cloverfield Paradox. Fuck off.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. Okay. Well, in which case, we're over to your shit film.
My shit film.
Your shit film.
Okay, well,
Come
I
on.
feel as though I should, give it a little bit of context. 2018 saw some wonderful sort of attempts at animation in film.
Yes.
I'm talking about things like Coco.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Oh, man.
Also, we had, what was the other thing I mentioned? I was going to mention earlier on.
The Pating from Doctor Who.
The Pating from Doctor Who. Yes.
Sorry.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I haven't seen, but I hear lots of good things about it. Even down to Teen Titans Go.
Oh, which is so good.
Okay, but
Yes.
for every, I mean, good films, right? Okay, having a good film, it's like a resource. Okay, so for every time you make a good film, bad shit in the form of animation builds up somewhere else. Okay, you get the anti-good stuff.
Oh, God.
Okay, and that's where you find ourselves today, children. This is where we come to my film, the anti-good film, right? Which is, it's like a big emotion sponge, as in it takes all emotion out of it and colour out of everything it touches.
You know the Emoji Movie was 2017, right?
Yeah, no, I would have included that in the good animation compared to this.
Oh,
Okay, a good animated film is the Emoji film compared to this pile of shit, which is none other than Batman fucking Ninja. Let's talk about Batman Ninja. I got through 20 minutes of this film and I had to switch it off.
Right, I still haven't seen it.
It was anger-inducingly bad.
Right.
I mean, I really felt angry watching it.
Right.
Just because it's just like somebody walking into a room, sitting you sit in a chair, somebody just sits in front of you and just calls you a cunt for fucking 2 hours, right? And that's it. That's what this film does.
Showing
right?
you pictures of
Or
dead
hour and a
family
half.
pets.
Yeah, and just calls you a cunt for no reason whatsoever, until you start believing it because you sat through it, right?
Stockholm Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Nice.
To give, just so that if anybody's not actually seen this yet, right, after my going on about it a few episodes ago, it's a Batman time travel story, right? Apparently, for some strange reason, Gorilla Grodd has gone to Arkham Asylum and he's transported the fucking lot back in time to the Japanese feudal period, right?
Right.
Okay, and along for the ride has dropped in Batman, right?
Yeah.
Now, when Batman ends up in the time
Yes.
in feudal Japan, right? Everybody's already been there for 2 years. Even though the fucker came along with them, apparently he turns up 2 years later. Because fuck off.
Because reasons.
Because fuck off, you cunt. That's what it. That's it. Right. That's the reason. Because fuck off, you cunt. Right.
I've got a lot of stuff to put on this post of a Patreon.
Yeah. Right. So it does that. Right. He turns up 2 years after everyone else gets there. Right. And who should be there? Right.
Who
right.
should be there?
Shall I tell you?
Go on, tell me who's there. I bet I can't guess.
Right. Who would be the one person that would have absolutely no fucking business being there in the Batman pantheon of people, right, characters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The one person who would have no business being at the epicenter of a time travel experiment, right, that Batman's trying to stop. Which character?
Who would
What
be
do you think?
there?
Commissioner Gordon, maybe?
Oh, could be Barbara Gordon.
Could be Barbara Gordon.
Robin.
No, shall I tell you?
Who?
Fucking Alfred.
How's he get there?
But, well, the Batman says to him, how the fuck did you get here? Well, he doesn't say that, but he might as well, because that's the look on his face. He's like, Alfred. And because it's a kid show, he can't say, Alfred, how the fuck did you get here? What the fuck is that all about? And he's like, well, I was in the Batmobile, I was in the glove compartment in your fucking lunchbox with your cheese and fucking ham sandwiches, which I do you every single time you go out and you don't touch. You cunt. So... And he's like, I was in the Batmobile. And it's like, well, yeah, I didn't fucking... You know it's only a single-seater. What were you? What were you disguised as a fucking seat cover or something?
But I came
Were you the beaded seat cover of my Batmobile?
I came on the bike.
Is that what I'm sitting in where you normally keep the porn stash. I was in there. I was in there, Master Bruce. And I brought, because the Batmobile stamped the bead out, and I've brought it along to feudal Japan, right? Okay, a pre-industrial industry time period in Japan's history, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I've managed to maintain this car right? That's got a fucking nuclear engine, right? I've managed to keep it going. I've managed to keep for 2 years. I've replaced it, got spare parts in it, even though it's gone nowhere. I've kept it maintained.
Wow.
Right? I've fed it nuclear fission, obviously, because I've gone out in the back fucking yard.
I've dug it up with bamboo.
Dug up some weapon-grade plutonium and fucking processed it in the fucking the nuclear power
rice oven.
Yeah, the nuclear powered rice oven. I've done this, right? Okay, I've gone out and I've done this for you, right? And Batman's like, oh, all right then.
Yeah.
Because I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Just because fuck off. That's why.
Because fuck off, that's why.
And then I'm like, the Joker's here, right? Apparently all the important villains in the Batman universe happen to be passing Arkham Asylum at the time.
Yeah.
And you've even got Deathstroke who happened to be going to get like the morning papers or something. He was down at a paper shop. He was for a pint of milk and a fucking Cornetto. He got sucked up with it, right? Okay. He's along as well. And it's like, I know it sounds like a bit acid flashbacks. This is making Mandy sound coherent. But it's like the Joker is now a feudal warlord, right?
So of course he is.
He is, right? And let me get this right. How about this, right? Batman, he's first running with bad guys. He's in a forest, right? He has a running with these like Shogun warriors that have all got clown faces on, and he says, "Who are you working for?" Because
he's the Dark Knight detective and he knows that shit.
Yeah, and
he's good at that shit.
He might be the Dark Knight detective, but he should have gone to fucking Specsavers. I'll tell you that now. It's like, who do you think we're working for? You cunt. Look at us. What does this say to you? What villain do you know looks like this?
Yeah, who lives in Arkham
If you say the
Asylum.
fucking Penguin, I will fucking do you. I will fucking do you.
Bane.
If you say Calendar Man, I will fucking kick you in the bollocks.
The Condiment King.
Yeah, the Condiment King. I will fix you. I will fucking fix you right now. Okay? Or I'll do it when you least expect it. Fucking Dark Knight detective. So you've got the Joker there, who suddenly has got the acrobatic skills of someone from Cirque du Soleil who can leap about trees and do all kinds of shit.
Well, he's had 2 years to train.
Yeah, and he lives in a house that turns into a fucking robot.
Because of course he does.
Japan.
Of course he does.
Crouching tiger, folding chair.
Yeah, crouching tiger, folding chair.
Folding deck chair, nice.
Right, now, there's this is the beauty of the Teen Titans Go Me, because it takes the piss out of this, right? Because there's this sequence, right, where I think it's the ever-decreasing Batmobile or something. Batman's got a vehicle or a fucking suit for everything, right? Yes. So he's there in his basic sort of armoured suit, and then Bane shows up, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden he turns into Optimus fucking Prime. It's like, why the fucking hell didn't you pull that out earlier? And it's the Roger Rabbit thing. Well, it weren't fucking funny, was it, baby? Motherfucker. It's like you could have dealt with the robot house
in your robot suit.
In your robot suit. And apparently later on, as I've been reliably informed by Mr. Palacides, there are monkeys in it. There's an army of monkeys.
Because of course there is.
Yeah, and they've each got robots themselves or something.
Wow.
And I'm done.
Right.
And that was actually me explaining this. It's longer than the actual sequence I actually watched.
Oh my God.
You know that? It is the most insulting piece of filming I've ever seen in my life. I don't know. I've got nothing.
Well, you say that.
It's all the fault of Brexit. That's what I'm
blame
say.
Brexit. I blame
Brexit.
I blame Brexit. Well, you see, the thing is, we got to go from that to another film, right? My film, right?
Go on then,
and see if this causes any acid flashbacks for you, right?
Is this one I've forgotten?
The Predator. Do you remember that, Darren?
I remember The Predator.
That was shit. But do you know what?
It weren't as shit as Batman.
No. But there was one other film that we saw together. Rampage.
God, Rampage.
Do you remember Rampage? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and a fucking gorilla and a humongous great big crocodile, and of course the crocodile flies, and a wolf and CGI again, and the monkey making "Are you going to fuck her now?" signs to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Do you remember this?
Yeah. And I've also got a flashback from watching the Bruce Willis roast. Where somebody made a joke about He's all the if you took. No, I can't. I can't
No,
say on it.
no. But yeah, I was going to go for Predator, but like I say, Rampage.
Yeah, I think you got right there.
That
son.
was absolute turd. I mean, let's be honest. Video game movies don't have a good track record at the best of times. Let's just say that. Anyone mentions Super Mario, let's all watch Super Mario Brothers is going to get fucking planted. I will plant you if you want to.
I will fong you. I will fucking fong you.
So when we went to see this film,
fix you, fucker. Yeah.
we weren't exactly super keen on it in the first place, but it was the only one that was out.
Yeah.
And so we went to see it, and it was just fucking nonsense. The action was rubbish. The bromance between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and a 60-foot gorilla called George.
They missed the trick with that. They're not. This is the thing, right? This is the basic premise of the movie, or the basic setup of that movie was fucking wrong anyway. They just called it Rampage. They thought, there's a video game back in the 80s called Rampage. It had this, and this in it. Stick that in it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, where's the bit about the scientist who turns into the giant wolf? You could have even have just had Dwayne "The Rock" fucking Johnson be the scientist who turns into a fucking great big gorilla. Right? You could have had that. You could have had that. Even that would have been like, well, that services the original thing,
But instead, we have a brother and sister running a corporation that may or may not be trying to get some bit of an asteroid, that may or may not be landing somewhere around the Earth, that may or may not be turning a swamp alligator into a Godzilla-like creature, which is like the end of level boss that sort of spends half the movie swimming up a river. Then you've got George the gorilla, who starts off as a normal sized gorilla, ends up as a huge gorilla that can sign language. Are you going to polka now, Dad?
Oh God, yeah.
Do you remember that? What? It's just like, oh my God. Then you've got a whole sequence. What am I thinking of now? No, I'm thinking of San Andreas. That's another fucking awful film. But there's the wolf. There's the fucking wolf, and that wolf flies. And it's just, why does it fly? Because that's a good sequence. And when we're going to have lots and lots and lots and lots of buildings falling over while Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stands there looking confused on a green screen. Wash, rinse, repeat to the end. No, nothing of any consequence happens. And
It's where he turns to the camera and goes, I've made enough money to retire.
Yeah,
just so you all know.
Yeah, you're paying me, and you're watching this. Who's the loser now, buddy? That was a fourth wall break. It should have been.
I'm just going to spunk all this money buying Jaffa cakes. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going
what
to
get from this.
Yeah,
I'm just going to. That's what I'm just going to hemorrhage fucking
money, maybe.
Orangey fucking goodness. After this, I will be shitting orange jam for a week. That's how many Jaffa cakes I'm going to buy and consume because I've been in this film. I don't need a fucking conservatory. I've got 8 of them.
No, I'm actually going to make a model of myself out of Toblerone.
Yep.
I'm going to pay for a 700-foot high Mount Rushmore of my face out of Toblerone. I mean, it was a fucking awful film. It was really, really fucking
dire,
dumb. And it wasn't even good dumb. It was just dumb.
It wasn't friendly dumb.
It wasn't fun dumb where you could laugh at it. You just felt like it was laughing at you going, ha, 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 you paid your money. I mean, I had a Cineworld card and I fucking felt like I'd been done over.
Do you know what?
Bloody awful.
I have to say that watching the remake of Death Race 2000 gave me a lot more joy than watching this film.
Yeah. I think so. Actually, just watching the fucking arcade game of Rampage gave me more mental enjoyment than watching this piece of shit.
Yep.
It's fucking rubbish. It really was. And the worst bit is, I keep getting it confused with bloody San Andreas, which was another bloody awful film with Dwayne Johnson.
They filmed them back to back.
I think
this was it. two camera crews.
They just switched out the female sort of co-star, and just replaced a building and an earthquake with a monkey in the building.
Yeah,
it's just fucking awful. Shit, absolute shit. So anyway, how are we doing for time? Right, we're on 2 hours, so we might have to speed this along. We'll do one good one each and one bad one each. I'll see how that goes, because we are rapidly reaching the end of time, and we will be here forever. So Elton, go for it. Have you got a good one?
Right, I think it was mentioned earlier on when my internet was going a bit wonky, but I'm going to say A Quiet Place.
Oh, that was one of mine, you son of a bitch. Okay. That's okay.
Well, yeah, you put me first. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's cool. No, A Quiet Place. Yes, very good. So, go on.
Well, I really enjoyed it. It was, I preferred it to Bird Box. I know you guys were talking about Bird Box, but it was all going a bit wonky my end, so I didn't really hear it. Yeah, I thought it was a solid, quite quiet movie.
Yeah, I thought it was super tense. I mean, like I say, it raised a few questions, like what happens if you fart in your sleep,
and how come nobody had spot that fucking 6-inch nail sticking out of the fucking stair?
Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. If you got a baby belly that kind of goes out by about 1.5 feet.
But why was there a 6-inch nail sticking out?
Shut up. That's why.
Macaulay Culkin had been there.
Yeah.
Damn, this is such an intelligent film. We've painted ourselves into a corner. We've got to do something stupid to make this move along.
Yeah,
but she was pulling up the washing and it got snagged on it, didn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the washing actually pulled the nail up.
It showed the genesis of it, and it was unnoticed. And
right, okay.
I will say I've seen it repeated several times online by people trying to be clever, going, "Yeah, good film, but why didn't you all go live by the waterfall?" And it's kind of, well, how are you going to move the house, fuckhead? Wheels.
Yeah.
Lots of balloons.
I think even the waterfall might not match the sound of construction, and they build another one right by it. Come on. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. No, I loved this film. I thought it was really good. Like I say, we reviewed this one quite early on in the year.
I don't think anybody had a problem with it out of us four, did we? We were all pretty much sort of, down with this one.
Yeah, but I thought it was great. I mean, like I say, there was bits. The problem is, it's one of those premises that even though they had thought about it a lot, you can't help but suddenly think, well, if you have to play Monopoly with like foam pieces so that you don't make any noise, then surely people just can't fall asleep and not go. And basically
bummy grumbles.
Exactly, bummy grumbles, and then finding that your bumbly grumblies had basically lured in 7,000 monsters from like the square kilometre around you because they all heard it. Because if they can hear you knocking over a plate, they can certainly hear you. They can certainly hear you doing a bottom burp.
Yeah,
while you're actually asleep, and that's assuming you don't snore.
And what if you've had a bit. Something dodgy to eat, right? And you get shotgun bum when you go to the toilet, and it just, because I think we've all been there where, something that would normally take about a minute to come out comes out within the space of 2 seconds. Yeah, that's it.
I think that's what we can all say. Isn't it?
And you look down and it's like, oh, look, chocolate ready brick.
Yeah.
And it's...
You're sitting there literally playing Acapulco Stranger on the Shore, aren't you?
That's right, yeah. Hoping that they've kept that toilet roll in the fridge.
Yeah.
That's the bit where you turn around and say, right, guys, I need to go off to the waterfall.
Yeah. That waterfall was just like chocolate rain. Anyway.
It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, isn't it?
Exactly. Augustus Gloop just floating around face down in it. Sorry, Jim. Carry on, mate. Hello?
No.
Sorry, hello. Sorry.
Elton.
Oh.
Yeah, it's me.
Is it Elton? Sorry.
That was it. That's it for me.
Divwit. Sorry. I thought it was you, Jim, for some reason. Sorry. Anyway, right. Okay. Well, that was Quiet Place. That's another good one. So, Jim, go on in. Go for it.
We're just doing one more good one. I will go for probably the film that had the biggest effect on me this year, which was Matt Holness's Possum.
Yeah.
Not going to be to everyone's taste, but there's been a lot written sort of lately about this sort of kind of what they call like intelligent horror. Things like It Follows and The Babadook, and every year there's The Witch. There's always the couple that gets singled out every year as being part of this sort of new strain, the horror that's all right for Guardian readers to like.
Yeah.
I think Possum actually kind of knocked all of them into a cocked hat as being a genuine artistic horror film, and really comes close to actually putting onto film what an actual nightmare is like. Not what movie makers use as shorthand for a nightmare, where it's all funhouse angles and freaky lightning and the stairs turning into quicksand and the corridors that grow and all that kind of sort of cliche stuff that actually doesn't really happen in people's nightmares, but actually captures that kind of askew sense of the ordinary world just going wrong and things becoming sinister and strange, and there's some of the backstory you don't quite understand and it's creeping up on you slowly.
Yeah.
And some genuinely just really, I say a cliche phrase, the stuff of nightmares.
Nice.
But a film of many layers as well, though. I mean, actually, it's not intelligent and kind of, we're using demons as a metaphor for mental illness. Hey, we're clever, aren't we? Can we have a gold star? Oh, yes, you can. This was a proper puzzle box of a film of where there are layers and layers to be unpicked, and yet it never falls. It doesn't fall into the trap of just sort of leaving you hanging. It gives you all the pieces, and you just put them together to get that final click, and you get a glimpse of the big picture at the end.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it. As I say, kind of a really strong sort of debut, and unusually, actually, for a lot of films these days, done and dusted now in 25 minutes, which is a bit of a relief, I must say, as I'm getting older. I am sort of, when the sort of movie started breaking the 90-minute mark in the 90s, and people say, hey, yeah, why not 2 hours? And now people just taking the piss.
Yeah.
I appreciate something that is just compact and, clunk, clunk, done there, In A Quiet Place was the same for that, actually. Yeah. Very economical film. Didn't need to be any longer. Did what it said. And, so that's my last good film, Possum.
Okay. And that's now on Amazon, isn't it?
I think it should come onto Amazon, and it was going to get released onto DVD and Blu-ray in January, but that has been put back to March now, I think. I know because I've got it on pre-order. And I've covered it once on my show, but I want to cover it again when it comes out on disc and actually take the spoiler gloves off for that one. But,
yeah. Cool. Okie dokie. So Possum it is. So Darren, what about you? Can you give us another good one? One of your better ones?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull the trigger on the big one.
Go on in.
Because nobody else is pulling the trigger, and I know what you're going to go for next. So
do you?
Yeah. One that you a particular film that you really like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for Infinity War.
I knew someone had to go for it.
Yep, indeed. How can you not mention this film? This is a culmination of 10 years worth of Marvel build-up to get to this single point, and I fucking loved it. I just really liked this movie. Yeah,
it had all the hallmarks of something that could have gone horribly wrong.
God, yeah, it's kind of like, we had this with the very first Avengers movie. It's like, well, the build-up's been okay so far, and we've got the Avengers coming out now, so what's that going to be like? But, no, Avengers Infinity War, for me, really kind of, that was, for me, it was worth the wait. And it's a film that left me sat there with my mouth open by the end of it.
Nice.
And even though things are going to get kind of put right because that's how they go.
Mm.
If they had just ended the Marvel universe, the whole run of the films on that, I think I would have stood up and just clapped. Just just for having the bollocks to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they the ending has had more impact as the Marvel universe has grown since.
Yeah, with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
With Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I've not felt like that sort of, shall we say, enjoyable nihilism. Is that a word? I mean, is that a phrase? I mean, where you sort of know this is a big cliffhanger and everything will presumably get fixed, but it ends on such an audacious cliffhanger that you just go, "Oh, well done!" Hats off. You've gone to the
you took it there. You went there. Yeah, you went there with this.
It may get revisited and reassessed based on how Endgame plays out. Because if Endgame's a pile of shite, then everyone's going to come back to this and go, "Well, it's a shame, really, because it didn't really end where it should have done."
Yeah,
but yeah, I have no problem with this being counted as one of the better films of this year. Definitely, absolutely. I mean, because it's just there was nothing like it.
I think Thanos is also my favourite Marvel cinematic villain.
He was, pardon the pun, a marvel in special effects, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's the way he carried himself. He wasn't this fucking moustache twirling villain. He actually believed in his purpose. He wasn't like, laughing maniacally or anything like this. He was quite... I mean, I think that's probably one of the more kind of terrifying things about Thanos is the fact that he's so calm about it.
Yeah.
And it's like he really believes that his way is the only way.
Yeah.
And he was even quite reasonable in some of the conversations he was having. It's, he has this reasoned conversation with, one or two characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not him that loses it. It's people attack him.
Yeah.
He doesn't attack them. It's
just let me get on with my job and I'll be out of your hair.
Yeah.
You can take it, sort of thing.
Is that? So, all powers to Josh Brolin for conveying that character. I really liked him as Thanos.
Yeah.
He was just brilliant.
If it has one problem, it makes Peter Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy seem like an absolute cock.
Yeah.
No longer a lovable rogue, but just a complete bellend.
I think that might have been the writing.
Yeah.
Because to me, that was... Peter Quill in that didn't seem like the Peter Quill I'd seen in the other Guardians movies.
No.
He seemed a little bit too childish. Like they'd taken him a step backwards. Yeah. He hadn't... Because... as he's gone on, he's dealt with stuff that he's dealt with in the other films. I don't know if it's maturity that he's gained as a character, but he's definitely gained a more sort of... He's definitely a more in control as he goes on.
Worldly wise, I think.
Worldly wise, yeah. And in this one, it's like, none of that's...
No, he's gone back to Zuma. Is it Yuma? Was the...
Yeah.
Is it the Microsoft, whatever it was...
the Zune.
Zune, that's it. He's gone pre-Zune.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and it's like, he knows he's got these. He knows he's got these powers. He knows that his character is more than just human.
Yeah.
From the other films, and yet he feels intimidated by the presence of Thor.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, some of that was funny. The thing with the voice.
Yeah.
Are you taking are you copying my voice? No, I'm not copying your voice. Yes, you are.
It certainly sounds like you are. Anyway,
Drax in that.
Yeah, I'm doing my slow down invisibility skills.
Yeah,
yeah. If I move really slowly, you can't see me. How long have you been there? About an hour. Anyway,
but the whole. I love the interaction between Tony Stark and Doctor Strange. Douchebag.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're the same character essentially. And it's just really well done. You're embarrassing me in front of the wizards. Yeah. It was light-hearted when it needed to be. It was serious when it needed to be, and it was. I tell you what, if Guardians of the Galaxy was this generation's Star Wars, then this was this generation's Empire Strikes Back. It was that thing where the kids come away going, oh,
yeah.
and you know everything's gonna be fine because you've seen a million films like it, but they didn't, and the cinema I was in certainly didn't. And
I've got to say though, there is a shall we say, a certain character in the film who does actually fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
In it, his last comment in it, his final thing before he goes, that got me even worse.
I don't feel
watching
so
it
good.
a second time.
Yeah.
It was really kind of
yeah.
There were. I mean, I know this is quite a pun on the film, but there was an awful lot of dust in the room. An awful lot of dust.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking from that character.
Yeah.
It was
Infinity War, sponsored by Vax.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like a 4D viewing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very much so. That had so much emotional punch to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Infinity War. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in which case, I will do my other good film, which is kind of related, but I'm always feeling like I'm kind of now. There are films that are falling by the wayside that I should be making more of, but I saw it yesterday, and it was the film I've been meaning to watch for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is fucking great. It
I
is
really want to see it.
really good. I mean, it's a film which, if you're a comic book fan, it will reward you multiple ways.
Yeah.
In its look, in its style, which isn't, I will admit, wasn't immediately good for me, because there's a lot of it where you watch it and it does the color separation thing, which it's trying to be very clever about, like it's printed on paper. You know, and sometimes the yellow kind of separates off because it was the old 70s printing presses. They do that for things in the foreground and things in the background, which is fine. But the problem is when you sometimes get scenes where everything's right in the foreground or right in the distance, suddenly it feels like you're watching a 3D movie without the glasses. And that took a little bit of time to get used to.
Yeah.
However, things like Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir, who is a Spider-Man from a universe where it's only black and white.
I've played him in a video game.
Yeah, and he's just bemused by things like Rubik's cubes. You know, is this purple?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not. You sure? It's like, and there's so many little gags like that all the way through that you just suddenly go, those guys, the guys who made this, they would have been really good if you got them to make a Star Wars movie. Oh, they got fired from the Star Wars movie. Right, okay, I see. Right, okay. It's got that Lego movie sensibility about it, where it kind of, at some points you go, okay, you guys need to rein it back a bit because you're going a little too on the crazy train.
Yeah.
But overall, if you're a comics book fan and you've got any love for Spider-Man, this will totally do it for you. Totally. There's just a sequence with Peter and Miles just escaping on a tube train, which isn't a big spoiler. It's just a sequence, which is just Looney Tunes meets comic action. Is just there's references to Spider-Man 3 in it. There's references to histories of all these different characters and all these different universes. There's so much love in there that you can't help but just come away going, okay, this may not have been for me particularly, or this, you know, if you're not a comic book fan, but you still got to admire the pure joy of it. And there's a lovely little nod to Stan Lee as well, which is just like, mwah, just a cherry on the cake. Thank you very much indeed. And then when you compare it with my other shit film in the list, which has not been far out from here, you can turn around and go, well, just fuck off. Look at that. Look at what they did with half your money, you jumped up, gold lame suit wearing tit face. Fucking soggy Thor. Piss off. Anyway, sorry, don't want to give it away. So, right, well, here we are at the two...
Aquaman.
Yeah, Quackerman. Cloackerman.
Aquaman.
Aquaman. Okay, right, we're not going to do another Mare film. We are on a 2-hour mark, so we'll just do one more shit film, and I think you know what mine is. But anyway, shall we do a quick shit film again? Shall we do that? You got time for that? How are we feeling for time, guys?
I've got no more shit films myself, but I can give a sort of like.
Well, I think you wrote one down in bright red at the bottom there.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
no, we'll go for that one.
Okay, fine. So,
sorry, I'm sorry. Maybe I need to go to Specsavers. I mean, it's fuck me. Look at the size of those letters.
You did write it down in bright red, as
and
I
I put
said
3 exclamation marks at the end of it.
Exactly, exactly. So Elton, have you got another shit film?
Yes, I'll be quick with this one as well.
Go on, him.
Jurassic World.
Boy, oh boy.
Man, what a fucking shit fest that was. It just doesn't warrant anything at all. It doesn't earn any drama in it whatsoever. All of a sudden, your characters are just, something's happening quite dramatically. You would have all been burned to a crisp, but let's not forget about science and shit like that. We're here for fun.
Yeah,
but they forgot it.
They forgot the fun.
And I swear, you might be able to remember this. But on the wit list for the defence, I'm sure we did a film where they sell dinosaurs to uppity people, very posh, rich people. Maybe it's like an asylum movie.
Or was it that Asylum Sherlock Holmes film?
It may have
that
been.
Dinosaurs in.
Yeah, and they were selling dinosaurs in there. And Jurassic World goes there, but they have the budget for the CG. I prefer the Asylum version.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, that's bad.
I do not recommend this one bit. It is shit. It makes the first reboot with Chris Pratt look really, really good. And that's kind of a family favourite in here because we know what we're getting and it's an easy watch. But this one is, everyone really just looked at each other when that was finished, went, that was a bit shit, wasn't it? And we all looked at each other and went, yeah, it was. So, yeah, I warn you off of this one. Don't go watch it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Don't worry. I probably won't. That's all I'll say. I think you're safe there. Okay. You look like you were going to say something, Dale. Go on.
Yeah, again, I didn't have that much of a problem with Jurassic World.
No?
Fallen Kingdom.
I didn't like the first Jurassic World, so I can't imagine the sequel getting that much better.
I thought it was okay. I sat and watched it through.
Would that have been a meh film for you?
I didn't like it as much as the one that came before it, but I get on with it. It's fine.
Fair dues. Okie dokie. Jim?
My bad film is Hold the Dark.
I knew it. I absolutely knew it. Go on in. How about it, sir?
So this is one of those. I said before, films are bad for many reasons. This film annoyed me because it should have been an excellent film. It had a good cast, a very good director. It had some brilliant cinematography and some amazing set pieces. However, they just forgot one thing.
Yeah.
To put a fucking plot in it.
Nice.
I mean, I was watching it, as I was watching it, I was fairly gripped, I must admit, because it was like, this is all intriguing, this is weird, this is really intense. But around the halfway mark, I started to get a sinking feeling in my stomach going, I have a terrible feeling we're not going to understand or be told or given any hint as to why any of this is happening.
No.
And that was indeed the case. We're making some stupid, faux pretentious point of, hey, wolves aren't the actual, real beasts, humans, they're the real feral beasts. Oh, it's kind of, if that's your point, I will fucking bury you.
How deep? How very deep?
I mean, it's just one of those kind of, just fuck off. It was based on a novel, and from reviews, I went to research, is it me? Am I missing something? And apparently, if you've read the novel, the film makes sense because there's bits in the novel that actually give you some context for what you're seeing, but they didn't put those in the film. I'm going to spoil the shit out of this now for how much you can spoil the shit out of it.
Go on.
A guy who's like kind of a wilderness hunter, survival-y type, gets called to this remote village in the edge of Alaska by this woman whose son has been killed by wolves, and he's hired to go and kill these wolves.
Yeah.
Her husband is away in Iraq killing people in a violent fashion.
Yeah.
And but then she disappears into the wilderness, and it turns out that actually it wasn't wolves. She killed her son.
Right.
The husband comes back and starts hunting her down, and then just starts killing everybody else.
Just because.
No good reason. And apparently in the book it explains actually they're a brother and sister.
Right.
And it's incest, and she killed the son when he spurned the mother's advances.
Right.
And then the husband just comes back and finds the police are looking for a blah blah. She kills everyone to keep it quiet or something.
Blimey.
But it's kind of like, I wouldn't have got that from what you told me on screen. And even then, it still doesn't really explain why a good deal of shit fucking happens in the film.
Nice.
It was just, but it was so irritating because it was the fun. You know, I can go with things that are very impressionistic and, you know, films that don't make a lot of sense. But you've got to throw me, give me a couple of clues to work with. And this film just didn't. And it just, at the end, just kind of go, oh, what?
You're wasting my life. Do you understand?
It wasn't that I had to check on that. Did I miss something? And if you go on IMDb, a lot of people had the same reaction. You go, what the fuck did I just watch? It was brilliantly shot, but I have no idea why any of that happened. This kind of, people said, they clearly cut out the few scenes that were needed to explain the plot and just left them on the cutting room floor, and it was completely in the dark. Just give me a little hint.
Nice. Oh God, I have literally, I've seen the trailer on Netflix, and I've just gone, that looks interesting, and then your voice comes into my ear from the last time you reviewed this, and I just think, nope, nope, just back away. It's not that. Hats off to the trailer maker, but nope.
Well, that's the thing. It should be a brilliant movie, and for the want of just throwing in just a couple of scenes and a few lines of dialogue here that would give you some pointers to. Or some context to this, that would make all the difference.
But alas, no.
Because there are some genuinely really good sequences in it, but you have no idea why they happened or what they mean. It's just like so frustrating. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, how could you overlook the most basic part of filmmaking, for fuck's sake? Although, having said that, when I looked at reviews of the novel was criticised for, shall we say, having a loose narrative. I.e., not having a proper plot as well. So.
A loose narrative. There you go. That's
a euphemism.
That's a great phrase, that, isn't it?
Yeah. A loose narrative.
It's one that strikes fear into my heart, but not as much as the other one.
It's very artistic.
Inspired by a true story.
Oh, God, no. Yes. Back the hell away from anything inspired by a true story.
Which means here's a fucking load of old bollocks we want to win an award.
Yeah.
You never go full page.
This season, I think I've seen 3 trailers on the TV for films that all have inspired by a true story. I thought, oh, really?
Yeah.
Do fuck off.
Yeah, Winchester is one with Dame Helen Mirren as a lady living in a haunted house. It's just like within 2 minutes, it's like, no, it's actually haunted. Oh, all right then. It's right. So not that well inspired by a true story then. Fine. Cool. Okay. So hold the dark.
Yeah.
Love it. So Dal, over to you. What's your shit film? Come on. He's not going to pick from. He's picking from his list. He's checking his list out.
Just making sure.
Yeah, checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty and who's shite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
So we've done Rampage.
Yes, we did do Rampage.
We can't do Rampage.
No.
Oh fuck! I'm sure there was one I forgot to move down to that.
Go on.
Down the bottom.
Go on.
But no. Okay, we'll go for this one.
Okay.
The Predator.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you brought it up because even though I signed it.
Yeah, The Predator.
Jesus Christ Almighty. Crazy people are crazy, aren't they? They're crazy.
Crazy people be crazy. Yeah,
I've got Tourette's. Aren't I cute? Says Thomas Jane, looking like a rapey stalker.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this this sort of like cool, calm, and collected army dude who almost got flattened by an alien spacecraft in Asda's car park, right? Because that's what happens at the beginning of this film.
Pretty
right?
much.
He's, you got this bloke who's obviously a government assassin or something, an army sniper, and he's going in to take out some bad hombres, who are doing a drug deal or some sort of weapons deal in Asda's car park, right?
Yes.
And lo and behold, as they're doing this, an alien spaceship just drops out of the sky, right? A Predator ship just happens to just drop out of the sky.
As it does.
And almost kill
pretty much
soldier
everyone.
dude bro, right?
Yes.
Okay? So there is almost that. Of course, not before... It does, and then the army turn up and capture him, but not before he's gone into the ship and stolen some technology.
He doesn't understand.
Yeah, but he thinks, you know what? I'm going to put this in a bag anyway. It could be a small nuclear explosive that's going to level this side of America for good. Or
it could be a funky hat for my kid.
It could be, or it could be one of those universal remote controls from my telly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick this lot in a bag.
So you can say Expelliarmus to your TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick it in one of them storage places. Call us and we'll beat the court from anywhere else.
Big yellow storage.
Big yellow storage. Put it in big yellow storage and just hope for the fucking best. Yeah. What can we say about this film that we haven't already said in that special that we did down the pub?
I've seen it since, and it's not got any better.
No,
and
has it got just worse? Or
it's worse. It's more just redundant in many ways.
It's even less believable than it was the first time we saw it.
And there's a bit at the very end. Shall we spoil the shit out of the stinger at the end?
Do you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Okay, so imagine this. Let me set the scene. We're sat
in a secret base.
We're sat in a secret base. Now we're sat in a cinema. We've traipsed through this film.
Yeah.
With very little reward, apart from maybe getting a picture with the Predator statue outside the front in the foyer.
Right.
I think that was the best part of that evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So, we get into the end of this film, and the Predator's been dealt with.
Yep.
Okay, and they've managed to,
and his dogs,
and the kid's son. Okay, who I think he has. If I remember, he was quite.
He has a mental disability which is conveniently either Asperger's or
could be autism, something like that.
Whatever it does to make the job easier for the writer to say, and so they understand Predator language.
Yeah, and they haven't really kind of looked into it, but they've that sounds great. That's something he can have to make him, to fit our needs for the plot.
Yes,
to make him super clever.
Kid plot armor.
Yeah, kid plot armor. And so they're in the base. The small child has been hired as apparently their top expert on alien technology,
of course.
They've discovered the ultimate. They've translated this text on this big coffin-shaped thing, right? Okay, now it is coffin-shaped.
It is coffin-shaped.
That could fit a person or a thing inside.
It certainly looks like a person.
It certainly does, doesn't it?
Yes.
And they call it the Predator Killer. Oh, it's not like, they could have translated it to something a bit more scientific. No,
beef and onions.
Apparently, beef and onions. They call it. It's been translated as basically the Predator Killer. And so, I could hear this noise from next to me as I'm sitting there, and it's like no. I know it went a bit quicker than that, but time sort of expanded.
It was a bit no.
And it was like no. It sounded like a motorbike revving up.
Yeah, and
for a second there, we both thought
the same thing.
Which was Arnold Schwarzenegger's going to step out of that coffin.
Yes.
And he didn't.
No.
And he turned into a drone. But then
The drone.
we learned later on that originally Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to step out of that coffin.
Yes, he was.
Yep. And here we go, come with me if you want to live.
But
And then it would end there.
But then,
Yep.
I have since seen from the concept artist who worked on it,
Yes.
he's now released other shots. 2 other people were going to step out of that coffin.
Not Billy.
No.
Carl Weathers.
Go on, take a guess.
Van Damme.
No. Jim?
Ripley.
Yes.
Oh, fuck off.
That was one. But
Fuck.
RoboCop.
Hell.
No.
How would Ripley
I
be?
don't know. RoboCop. Well, I tell you what.
There's O'Connor.
Yeah, I tell you what. There's one more. There's one more to step out.
There's Dawson.
No.
Who?
Go on, take a guess.
All right. So
You get one guess. Jim gets one guess. Elton gets one guess.
Rick Deckard.
No. Jim?
Rambo.
No. Elton?
Kermit the Frog.
No. How about Rebecca Jordan, a.k.a. Newt? Newt from Aliens. They actually filmed a sequence
This makes
with
no sense.
Newt, but she's a fully grown woman, and it says Rebecca Jordan on the inside displays. They've actually got pictures of it, and she's all in like this all-in-one white onesie thing, and she's got this breathing mask on her face, which looks like a face hugger. And yeah, they filmed it.
It makes no sense.
But it sums up the movie in a nutshell. It's just like random shit just thrown at the wall. Just
How the fuck could you possibly have Ripley and Newt?
and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is and this I know this is that is the most out of those 3 characters. He's one is the most feasible one to actually be there. At least there's some modicum
Planning.
of like actual reasoning that he'd be there. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
I'll find the pictures. They're on Instagram. The actual the concept artist has got the pictures of the actresses in place as well.
Who would be playing Ripley?
You don't see it because they've got the face mask on her. They've got this breathe mask thing that looks like a face hugger stuck on her face. It's like a robot face hugger thing, like a life support system. Yeah, have fun with that one. But that just sums up how shit Predator is. It's just like none of it makes any sense.
Even Adrian Brody's character from fucking Predators,
oh god,
would have made more sense than Ellen Ripley or Newt.
Even bloody Lawrence Fishburne, though the coffin would have been significantly wider. Come with a landing on a soft bed of pie.
This coffin appears to be pear-shaped.
This coffin appears to have landed in a small bed of crust.
He steps out of the coffin and they say to him, "Who are you?" And he goes, "They call me the Pied Piper."
Yeah, what's craft services? Cut. Yeah, the Predator is absolute dirge. It had so much promise, and it was just complete bullshit.
It was full of fudge.
Yeah.
No, then fudge. I like fudge, but it was just full of
shite.
Well, full of wank. That's what it was. It was just wank.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen bits of it on YouTube, and it just
put it back
like
there.
A school bus crash.
School bus crash. It's like it's like a school bus crash full of puppies. It's like
the death of creativity in celluloid form.
It is.
It's just fuck you.
Well, I'll tell you what. For my last film, my shit film, right? I was gonna do Goldfish Boy. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Goldfish Boy, going through his fucking waterfall and coming out with his trident and looking all bro.
Yeah.
Because that really annoyed me.
SpongeBob SquareBro.
Yeah, SpongeBob SquareBro. I was going to go for him, but I was just looking through my phone with old tickets of films I had been to see.
Yeah.
And one came to mind. One, which I will be honest with you, I've reviewed on this cast before, but I watched this film and it had hype through the roof.
Yep.
It was this is part of what Jim was saying about the horror films that Guardian readers could watch. You know, that everyone could feel very very chin-strokey. This is look at the mise en scene and what this means to everyone.
It can't be Neon Demon.
No,
a couple of years ago.
No, this one came out and it started off promising because initially it looks like there's this whole plot about, you know, is the lady who's in this film, the main character played by Toni Collette, is she going mad, or is she being haunted? You know, can people who are seeing this, you know... But then what happens is the film just goes, oh, you know all that subtle horror shit? You know what? At you for the last 30 minutes, and you just go, just get the fuck out of my face, you unbelievably up your own arse pretzel banging tit. It's... the film is Hereditary. And you know what? People
you're going to say the film is horrendous.
Well, it is. It fucking well is. And you know what? I've read so many good reviews. I honestly thought I was having a stroke watching this film because there are so many good reviews. So many. It's the greatest horror film since The Exorcist. Right?
Okay.
And you watch it, and the first half promises a lot. But the second half literally spaffs its wad in a complete supernatural wang-dango. We've just made shit up. Oh, look, there's people crawling on the walls. Oh, look, there's a cult outside full of naked old people. Oh, look, there's people with no heads. Oh, this person's really Satan. Oh, is he really? I don't know. It's just absolute fucking nonsense. It is not it's not a good horror film. It's scary? No. It's only scary if you think Gabriel Byrne is, you know, as the long-suffering dad, is literally able to understand any of what's going on. Because I was just sitting there going, this is just rubbish. And there's a bit, and do you know what? If this is going to go on for a few seconds, so if people want to skip spoilers, by all means skip spoilers. But there's a bit where it's all shown as to be, is it in her head? You know, this is Toni Collette, who's this model maker. Is she getting absorbed into the world? You know, especially with things like Possum, where you can't tell whether or not like things are real, things aren't real. Is it all psychological, or is she being, you know, sort of done by demons? Then there's this mad sort of daughter who's got sort of learning difficulties, who makes these kind of noises, and it's got all the build up, all the setup for a really good payoff. But what it does is it just goes, all that stuff, it was kind of implied over here and implied over there and could be something over here. Well, I tell you what, fuck subtlety, you know, because Gabriel Byrne comes along and he sees what's going on, and he sees that his wife's going slightly off her head, and there's something's happened to his daughter, and he's just like, right, that's it, I've had enough, I'm going to stop this right now. And he picks up some artifact, I won't tell you what it is, throws it in the fire. Now, he throws it in the fire, and instead of, you know, what's the scary thing that could happen? What's the scary thing?
You could see the face of the spirit, the malevolent spirit, in the fire.
Or you could see, all sorts of spooky stuff. Oh, no. Gabriel Byrne just bursts into flames and he's out of the film. That's it. Gone. He's done. And it's just like, and everyone's just like standing around watching this happen, and you think, what?
All of a sudden, Gabriel's contract ceased.
Yeah. It literally is like, it's literally like Gabriel Byrne literally got hold of one of those ninja smoke bombs and just threw it on the ground, and instead of throwing it on the ground, it was a flashbang, and it just caught his trousers, and he just disappeared up in flames. And from that point on, the film just goes, and it just, It just literally just goes, oh, look, people are floating. Oh, look, there's some creepy people. Oh, who are these creepy people? Who knows? I don't know. Oh, there's a creepy babysitter. You remember there was a creepy babysitter in that film, The Omen? Oh, do you remember there was this thing, a bit like there was a cult in sort of like Wicker Man? Oh, do you remember this bit with his people flying around? That looked a bit like the Fury. Oh, do you remember this bit? And it's just like, and it literally just like this guy, whoever directed it, whoever wrote it, just clearly just decided, you know what? I'm fed up trying to make a quiet fucking horror film. Do you know what? I'm going to show you all these films that I like myself. I like this bit in this film. I like this bit in this film. You know, I'm just fed up. Just, here you go. You know what? It's almost like you've been told. It's almost like someone told him at the very end of the fucking shoot. Do you know what? Horror films have more gore in it. You want gore? You want gore? All right, fine. I'll have someone cut their own head off. I
think somebody whispered to him, "You know, you're not getting paid for this."
Yeah,
he went, what?
What? Exactly. It was literally like, oh, you know what?
Okay.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's like someone came along and went, you know what? This could do with a bit more Wicker Man nude people. You want nude people? You all right? Go on, you can have fucking nude people. Well, I think, you know what? I thought it was really good when in The Exorcist, when people just started floating around and vomiting everywhere. You want that? Okay, fine. Off you go. I've had it. Go on. I'm done. Go on. You want Tony Collette on a fucking string floating around like Peter Pan? Fucking off you go. Go on. Yeah, well, what
do you want? What do you want?
What do you want?
You want Satan with a packet of round trees fruit pastels sticking out of his ear?
Fine. Off you go. Go on. Off you go. Go on. Oh, what you want? Oh, right. We haven't done it. You know, someone coming past going, you know, for a horror film, there don't seem to be a lot of skulls. Fine. There's a whole tree made of skulls. There you go. There's a tree. Fucking skulls. You want trolls? What else you want? What else you want? Want fucking devil dogs? Oh, well, throw a devil dog in. You want an old lady with doilies on her eyes? Oh, yay. There you go. Whee. It's just like... Literally, it's just like his patience literally runs out about midway through. You just see him just take the script and just go...
What is this bollocks?
Exactly. That's it. Peace out. You finished the fucking film. Here's some bits. Here's some fireworks. Go on, off you go. It's just like, oh... You literally feel him just go, oh, fuck off. And the funny bit is, there's all these people going, it's so scary. It's like, no, it's not. If the scariest thing is at some point is a threat that you might see Tony Collette's arsehole. and you think, I don't want to see that. I really don't. It's just like, oh, there's an 80-year-old man standing there completely in the nude looking at me through the window. Is that scary? Well, only that he's giving us a full-length shot, so yeah, it is.
Second, he's shit in my garden, and he's looking me in the eye as he does it. Yeah, he's not blinking. He's not blinking at all.
There's a watering can in his hand.
Yeah. He's just twitching and shivering like the neighbour's dog as it takes the shit in the lawn. It's why? Why?
He'll look at me in the eye.
Why would he break my gaze?
He won't break. No.
Why is he breaking?
Look, if I move from side to side, his eyes follow me. Look.
Yeah. Why won't he break my gaze? Why won't he break my gaze? Why can't I break the gaze? It's just. It is a film of two halves. The first half is a good half. The second half is just absolute cockwomble. It's just absolute nonsense. Really, really is. More than any other film in this. I mean, if it was last year, I would have said Mother. But more than any film,
this is this year's Mother.
This year's Mother. It's just you just sit there going, oh, just fucking wrap it up. You're bored. We're bored. Yeah, okay. Toni Collette's on some strings. She's not going to panto, you know. Just stick her in a fucking tree and have her die or something. I don't fucking care. Oh, look, there's a devil. Is there a devil? I don't fucking know. Credits.
Credits. The fucking credit roll started. They go really quickly so you can't read it.
Someone walked by eating peanuts and just, oh, turn it off. Just turn the fucking camera off. Oh, God. Oh, dude. It's just bollocks. Oh, God. Has anyone else seen it?
I did. I quite liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh man.
Though I said it is the last 15 minutes where there's a massive tonal shift.
Yeah. From that moment that Gabriel Byrne bursts into flames, the film just goes off on one.
Lee, your heir to a fortune. Gabriel, your heir's on fire.
Exactly. I mean, do you not? I mean, that was the thing, Jim. I just felt like when I was watching it, I was feeling like they're really trying to lay on the atmosphere, the subtlety, the real, sort of doom. And is she seeing this stuff? And then all of a sudden, it just goes, yeah, she is. End of. And here's some creepy shit from much better films.
I'm not sure it is, though.
Go on.
I think the end is a psychotic break, as it were. But it's not Tony Collette's character.
Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think it's going to be enough to make me want to watch it again, but you think the other child is having the moment, is he?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've only seen it once, so I need to go back to it, but that's my theory.
Okay.
It's one of those films. Every year, a couple get singled out, and they get this ridiculous hype to them. But it's this is one of those films. It really seems to divide people.
Well, yeah.
Most people are with it, and it's the end is the sticking point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those films. I have a lot to admire in it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd give it a classic tag. But for me, it's kind of much like It Follows. I mean, I have issues with that. That's a great film until the end. Well, we just shoot it then. What, really?
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah. And likewise, The Babadook, I have issues with the ending with that as well.
Yeah.
And it seems to be in this particular vein of, I feel, various horror drama and intelligent horror and various other sort of tags people have applied, and they don't kind of work. It seems to be somewhat of a common failing, shall we say?
Yeah,
of muffing your ending.
Yeah. I say, I was fully on it until without spoiling it too much, but the seance, and then it suddenly, once the seance kicks off, and then she's trying to get everyone involved, it's just like, okay, so you've lost all pretense of whether or not it's in her head or not. It's just going full on, and fine. Some films have to do that. You have to pull the trigger at some point. But the thing is, it pulls the trigger in such a dramatic way. It just feels like everything's. It's like when my dad once got bored with doing New Year's. It's not New Year's, with fireworks night, and all the fireworks were clearly shit. So he decided that what he was going to do was just throw a match into the box and close the door, and we all sat in the garden watching the box explode. And that's what this film feels like. It just feels like I can't be bothered to let off the fireworks one by one. Just, here's the match, go on, off you go, and just figure it out for yourself afterwards, sort of thing. So yeah, but I don't know if I'd ever go back to it to see what everyone else is seeing. It made a really poor impression on me, I'll be honest with you. Cool. Well, there you go. Right, well, I think that's it. Well, I think we're going to have to wrap this up because we are now going into old Black Dog territory, the 3-hour mark. There are loads of people who have put in their bests and worsts on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, some of which we've mentioned, some of which we haven't. There are some notable omissions that we haven't mentioned in this week's cast. I think First Man should have got a mention as well, but we just ran out of time. Yeah, Tedious Man on Moon looks tediously, but
First Man, Deadpan.
Yeah, we didn't get to mention Black Panther, which was the darling of the year, and lots of other stuff, and Buster Scruggs, and oh man. Anyway, if there were ones that we forgot, or you want to leave your comments, leave your thoughts behind, on the Facebook group, do head over to facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. Look for the banner for Black Dog Review 2018 and leave your comments there, or just post it under the comments of the episode. But now, before we go, let's tell you what we're going to be doing next week. Next week, it's just because I was just picking films at random that I wanted to watch again. We're doing Selfish Medcalf Movie Month. Well, I say that, but we've only got 3 weeks. So don't worry, you don't have to suffer too much. And I wanted to watch this film that I'm about to mention for a long time after seeing it at the cinema once and then seeing it on Channel 4. And I thought, oh, this is very good. I want to see it again, which is Sicario.
Oh, right.
Sicario is a crime thriller done by Denis Villeneuve, who we now know is doing Dune and did was it Blade Runner 2048 and The Arrival, and also has a sequel that's out at the moment, or has just come out on Blu-ray. Have you seen Sicario, Darren?
No.
Jim?
No.
Okay. Elton? No?
I said no.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay, cool. So none of you got any idea what you're in for next week, so that's good. In which case I shan't say any more. But I did enjoy it. So we'll be watching that Sicario, and yeah. If you want to leave any comments, by all means, go onto the Facebook group or onto Twitter, which is at Black Dog Podcast, or even onto our actual webpage underneath the comments section for each episode, which you can go to at blackdogpodcast.com. So, just leaves us one last job, which is the what's going on in everyone else's world. So, Jim, what's happening in Hypnagoria land?
I will actually return with a new episode this weekend, which might be a ghost story, or it might be an episode on Bird Box. Depends what gets finished first.
Nice. Cool. And what about you, Elton?
I just dropped an episode of Shonky Lab, which is a review of 2018, and Mr. Medcalf makes an appearance at some point.
I can only apologise for that.
And I will be recording another episode of Shonky Lab this Friday, going all about Bandersnatch.
Yes, Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Cool. I should be appearing on that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Cool, excellent. I'll be on that as well. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that's it. Do join us next week when we'll be reviewing Sicario, the first one, not the second one. And do check out everyone else's podcasts, and do rate and review and all that sort of thing. Oh, and one last thing on Patreon. We have lost 2 Patreon people, but that's fine. That's okay. It was the 12 Days of Diamond that killed them off, I think. But, let's not worry about that. But just to let everyone know that the 12 months selection where you can pick a film for us to review has gone live. So if you bump up your if you put Patreon donation into that tier, you can be one of the 12 people to pick a movie at the end of each month for us to review, subject to availability and whether or not we'll take your money. Because we might just go, no money's worth this, have it back, and throw it at you.
Yep.
So if you do want to take part in that, just go over to patreon.com/blackdogpodcast. Like I say, it's a movie a go, limited to 12, 12 for the month, and that's that. So if you do, that'll be really handy and always good for helping keeping the lights on. So there you go. Right. Thank you very much for listening, if you've got this far, because now we are officially in 3 hours. Do you remember when we used to do this all the time?
Yeah.
God almighty. Right, but we won't be doing it next week, I can tell you that for nothing. So, anyway, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And, yes, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for supporting. Thank you for still being here in 2019. And we shall see you all next week. Until then, take care. Thanks again. Tatty bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
to it.